We're back here at the Summit with head coach Terry Ruskowski. Is it safe to say this has been the week from hell for you until tonight's face-off?
Well, it's been a tough week to analyze what we did wrong and what we did right, and try to put that on the ice for the team to adjust to during practice. And we had to arrange practice around different situations where their powers, our weaknesses, and it was tough to arrange practices and have practices, but I think we got a lot accomplished, and I think tonight will be a pretty good night.
And Terry, no win one for the Gipper Newt Rockney speech. What did you tell the guys in the locker room before the game?
Well, I said a couple quotes that Vince Lombardi said, and I thought was very appropriate. And surprisingly enough, I said a quote from the Texas show that was on a miniseries when Sam Houston was going after Santa Ana, I should say, and trust in God, be not afraid, and victory's at hand.
You leave out the one that said, go kick some butt, some Phoenix butt?
I think they realize that and understand that.
Terry, discipline, is that the key for tonight?
Well, hard work and discipline, be physical, and do the things that we have to do right. I mean, I think that we focus so much on them, we've took away from our game. And my philosophy is, yeah, let's work on their strength, but also let's work on our power too, and go ahead and play the game of hockey that we're capable of playing. And that's going out there, playing physical, playing smart, and having our head in the swivel and picking up the right guys.
Terry, thank you. We'll see you after the game with a big smile on your face.
I sure hope so, Barry. Thanks.
And we'll have more hockey live from the Summit after this brief timeout on United Paramount 20.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Summit. It all comes down to tonight for the Houston Aeros. They need a win to stay alive in this first round quarterfinal series against the Phoenix Roadrunners, and I'll tell you right now, the boys look as focused as I've seen them coming into tonight's game, and it is definitely going to be a battle of goaltenders. Mike O'Neill has had the better of Troy Gamble in this series, but Troy Gamble will give her a go tonight. And one side note on Troy Gamble, as you see his regular season numbers, every save he makes tonight, money will be donated to the Oklahoma City Relief Fund for the disaster that happened, and Troy Gamble himself made it public that he's going to donate $5 for every save he makes. In goal for the Phoenix Roadrunners, it'll be Mike O'Neill. He was a thorn in the side of the Aeros, I felt, in Game 1. In Game 2, he was not nearly the factor, and we'll see how he performs on the road tonight. So the Aeros ready with Al Conroy, Dave Tippett, Scott McRae, Robinson and Jakes defensively. And the Roadrunners will go with Ken McRae, Rob Brown, Vaclav Nedomansky Jr. Defensively, they'll line up with Sean O'Donnell and the big man, Arto Blomsten. Drop of the puck, and we're underway from Houston. Here's Game 3 for you now. Blomsten shoots it into the Aero zone. The first goal of tonight's game will be huge. Now the puck is cleared to center. After it, Conroy. It goes back into the Phoenix zone, and O'Neill is out of the net to slow. Sean O'Donnell booms one along the boards. It'll go all the way down the ice. Icing washed off, and Gamble will slow. Gamble out of the net, handed over to Robinson, reversed up the right wing boards for Jake, steered to Conroy, he'll bring it to center ice. Pass for Tippett, he'll hit the line with McRae. McRae cutting right in, the shot, and he whipped the wrist shot just wide of the net. Now Robinson again, jammed the puck down low, and O'Donnell is there for Phoenix. Just underway here in the first period in a scoreless hockey game. O'Donnell for the Roadrunners, shoots it into the Aero zone, back goes Robinson. Robinson turning in his own zone. Here's the line combination of Mark Freer, Scott O'Neill, and Graeme Townshend. A puck now brought in by Freer. Freer skating, gets a shot away. O'Neill with a stick save. O'Neill fighting for a check, and we're going to get our first penalty of the night. It'll be to Phoenix. And now, puck throws it in the corner. Brian Straub is there. And finally we'll get a whistle. And we'll get the Aero power play cooking now as O'Neill was upended. The Aeros, who have just one power play goal in 10 opportunities in this series, have a marvelous opportunity to try and jump out with a 1-0 lead.
What they've got to do right now is take advantage of it, Adam. Move the puck to get the shot from the point. Look for the Aeros to get a little bit more creative, putting Mark Freer behind the cage. As we take a look at the trip there, Vachon goes off for the trip.
Interesting news for Nicholas Vachon. We talk about him. It's his father that's going to take over. If you have not heard, Barry Melrose, the head coach of the LA Kings, was fired today along with the assistant cap raider. His father, Rogie Vachon, has taken over along with Dave Taylor on an interim basis. There's a lot of speculation that the head coach of the Phoenix Roadrunners, Robbie Laird, might be up for the job. Off the face-off now. Aeros have it on the power play. Conroy getting set with a puck. Aeros move it. Conroy down low, centered and knocked away. And there was O'Neill to cover up, and he'll hold on. We've played a minute 14 here in the first. No score, and just 9 seconds off the Vashon Minor. And Robbie Laird, we just talked about a second ago, he has got this team in what they kind of call an emotional balance, where they just don't get too high, they don't get too low, and that's very effective, especially in the playoffs.
And a very, very disciplined team.
Face off to the right of Mike O'Neill. Freer to take the draw. Sticks down, drop of the puck. Freer trying to win it, cannot, and the Roadrunners take over. Ryan Straub behind the net, and he'll spin it all the way down the ice. It's Crowley and Tippett on the blue lines for this power play, as Gamble will slow, and now Crowley will take over. Ted Crowley, right to left, pass center ice for Freer, streaking across the line, makes the move, cuts in, here's Freer, down Conroy, score! Conroy from the near circle, power play, go! 1-0 Houston.
Adam, we talked about the importance of veteran leadership. We did not have time to put Al Conroy in, but we did say he who scores first. The interesting point there, Conroy replacing the big Sequoia Redwood, and that is Graeme Townshend. What the Aeros wanted to do was get more speed and quickness rather than the muscle on the power play. That's exactly what they did, as Houston jumps off to a huge one-goal lead. And the magician, Mark Freer, with that aluminum stick, just puts it right there. And you see how O'Neill came out for the angle and left so much net. And the man who was with the Detroit Vipers as their captain just lets it fly.
He's not the biggest goalie, which makes the point of leaving net, but he does play his angles well. It seemed like he left a little on the short side, and Conroy labeled it top shelf, where Grandma has the old pickle jar hiding up there, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Aeros. Now back is Crowley. Rolled it to Valamont. A pass for O'Neill. Bring it out the center for Towns, and it's knocked away. Now Chevalier the other way. You'll keep an eye on this guy. He has really killed the Aeros this year in the regular season and in the playoff. Center to pass right out in front did Chevalier, and it's knocked away by the Aeros and passed it out to center. Back are the Roadrunners now. Timmy Waters rolled it into the Aeros zone, and Crowley will hustle back. Here is Ted Crowley. 17:43 to play in the first. Aeros lead 1-0, and now Harkins rips his shot into the glove save made by O'Neill. And he will glove it. And he will hold on to it, forcing a face-off. And now Maurice, a little upset. And this is what we've talked about. Maurice just needs to keep this cool here and not draw any penalties here. And I think you're going to see a very disciplined Houston Aero Hockey Club this evening.
Well, people that come to a hockey game just to see a fight are going to be very disappointed. Why? Because in playoff hockey, there's more clutching, more grabbing, and you have got to be awfully violated if you're going to drop the gloves and swing, because you're going to cost your team. What Terry Wiskowski wants to do right now with the line changes is match up certain people. He wants to get Conroy out there with the McRae line. He previously wanted him out against Edgerton.
Face off to the left of O'Neill. Arto Blomsten's got it. This guy, for a big guy, can rush the puck, and the Aeros have got to keep an eye on him tonight. Now the puck back of the Phoenix zone. O'Donnell roll it to Blomsten, turning in the near circle. He will whip a pass at neutral, and now it's Nedemansky, rink wide for Brown. Intercepted by Laniel for Houston and steered to center. Now McRae's got Tippett on his case, and the puck goes back into the Aero zone. Here is Mark Laniel. And he will work it over to the right side. Grant back over Laniel, winds to neutral, and Tippett brings it up. Tippett across the line. Tippett, Conroy shoots. Oh, he didn't get good wood on it. He tried to let the one-timer go on. O'Neill will cover up, and he'll hold on with just about 3 minutes gone in the first period. Aeros lead 1-0, and Barry Warner, I'll tell you what, we've seen 3 minutes here, and it's the first pass out of the end that's really helping the Aeros be effective on their rushes.
And the man who made that first pass was number 26, Mark Laniel. He's the guy who came over in one of the last-minute deals engineered by Pete Deneen. Quiet, but awfully quick, and he makes an outstanding first pass, as you saw him putting the puck right on the stick of Dave Tippett, and it resulted in Conroy taking a shot from almost the identical place where he scored.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Mike O'Neill. Harkins, Maurice, and Chitaroni now with Robinson and Jakes. Nicholas Vashon centers a line with Dan Bylsma and Randy Pierce. Bylsma, I'll tell you what, he's had a good series. He's just quiet. You know, he doesn't seem like he does much, but he's got a goal and an assist, and he's played very well in the series. Robinson, left side, down the left wing with a shot. That's deflected up and out of play. That might have caromed off Chitaroni's stick. It will take time out. 1-0. The Aeros lead it. We'll have more IHL action right after this. Fans, you can help the victims of the Oklahoma City explosion and other disasters by making a contribution to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. You can make a flat donation or pledge any dollar amount to donate on however many saves Troy Gamble makes tonight. You can fax your pledge to the Houston Aeros office, 621-2314. Again, 621-2314. The Aeros, thank you for your generosity. Now, back to action. Here is Harkins. He's tripped up, and we're going to get another penalty. It's going to be on Dan Bylsma. And I think we're going to get another look. And now, Maurice getting into it, and he fires back. And we talked about the discipline factor, and it's right now Maurice going in after. He came out. He has been very feisty in the first shift or so. He went after one of the Roadrunners, and we'll see here what comes out of it.
Adam, we could probably count on one hand the number of times that Mike Maurice has fought this year. What is he trying to do? All during the course of the week, the whole mantra has been discipline. Don't retaliate. A penalty is called. You got a great opportunity for a power play.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I like here, Barry. If this were game 1 or 2, Maurice would be in the box. That's what we had seen as far as the officiating in the first 2 games. Tonight, Bernie DeGrace let Maurice get away with a little bit of a shot, and I'm sure he said to Maurice, he said, Mike, I'm letting you go here, but don't do it again. Otherwise, you'll go off with him. So Bylsma in the box, and the Aeros now get their second crack of the power play, and that means Greer, Arneal, Conroy with Tippett and Crowley. Face off to the top of the circle as you can watch Harkins get behind Bylsma. Bylsma hooked him down. Face off now between Greer and Vachon, and the Roadrunners have got it. Chapman turning near side, clear to the line. Out at center it goes. Tippett hustles back to his own blue line for Ted Crowley, and the Aeros will move it. They lead it 1-0 on Al Conroy's first goal of the playoffs. Crowley, a pass to center ice for Arneal. Hooks it in, and then he is drilled by Chapman, and down he went. Puck taken by Phoenix, clear to the line. Tippett held the puck in nicely, rolled to Conroy. He's got it if he sees it at the left point, and he's got it, and rolled it down. He wasn't sure where it was. Now Chapman cleared along the boards. Arneal held it in, back to a point. Crowley, the thing to watch here is how aggressive Phoenix is on their penalty killing. They attack you right as you get the puck. They don't sit back. They're not passive at all. Tippett down low, Conroy, one-tap shot and a stick save made by O'Neill. Now turn Freer back to Conroy. Aeros moving the puck well, and that's how you have to attack an aggressive penalty kill. Puck centered, Conroy, great shot, and a marvelous save by O'Neill, and the puck cleared, not out. Crowley fakes the shot, jammed it down. Conroy knocked off skates. It's cleared to the line and out at center ice, but we're going to get a whistle as the Phoenix net became dislodged, and oh boy, Mike O'Neill was just down there kind of jamming around the ice trying to find that loose puck. Arneal, you might see on the replay, Barry, is how he took a poke at it, almost got one underneath.
He tried to squeeze that puck right underneath the pad, but Adam, with the quickness and the way that the guys in the white sweaters are moving the puck is the one thing that they have worked on all week long. There's Arneal trying to poke that in, and then the net becomes dislodged. But I like what I see thus far, and what has happened is they're going for the speed and the quickness rather than taking big Graham Townshend out there. They want someone who's going to be very, very active to get that quick shot off. As you mentioned, a very valid point. You got a guy who's 5'7", 160 pounds that leaves more space. There are only 24 square feet from which to shoot.
Face-off move to center ice, as they've got the net dislodged and put back on now. 4.5 played in the first. 1-0 hockey game. Harkins with Maurice. And now we'll look at Vadim Slivchenko on the power play here. His first shift of the night. And we'll see what kind of speed he adds. He hasn't done much offensively in his last 10 or 12 games, but I have a feeling he's due as the puck's good a stick on it just barely. Now Slivchenko right in, and a great stop by O'Neill, and he's down and covering up. So Mike O'Neill wanting to pick up his play here a little bit, and he's right in there making some fine stops from close in. And the Aeros, though, on their side of things, Barry Warner moving the puck well on the power play.
Well, the key is just what you said, the good puck movement. A lot of quality chances right here. They're doing a good job of controlling it. Slivy fakes the shot in the jam, and they try to get the backhand by Tippett, but the puck movement has been key in the two power plays that we've seen.
This is outstanding. The crowd here tonight getting the boys fired up just under, they're expecting just under 14,000, I think. Puck cleared to the line. Aeros, Tippett held it in. Nice, a great play there. Now Blomsten, though, pried it away and fired it back into the Aero zone. Dave Tippett rolled it over right side. Now here is Mark Laniel. He'll reverse it to the near side for Tippett, trying to clear. He was bumped by Edgerton, and Blomsten fired it back in. Now, this is the most trouble the Aeros have had on their power play all night. Tippett rips it in there. It hits skates, and it's cleared by Phoenix, and back down the ice it goes. Aeros with 15 seconds left on the power play as Laniel hustles back. That's enough for another rush as we're 5 minutes into this hockey game. 1-0 Houston. Break wide pass. Carl Valamon across the Phoenix line. Dropped. Harkins centered for Maurice, who was tipped away. He had Maurice smoking down the slot but couldn't find it. Now teams back at 5-a-side. Bylsma back out on the ice for the Roadrunners. Here's Rob Brown. Spanks the puck back into the Aero zone. Gamble comes out to play. Now chipped along the boards for Laniel. And Laniel will bank it to neutral ice. Tim Waters blocked by McRae. Given a hard check along the boards. And the puck turned by Laniel. Brought in Conroy. Lost it. Now taken back by Phoenix. Steve Wilson cleared to center ice. Laniel was there. Give it back. Chitaroni poke checked away, but got it back to McRae. He was offended, lost an edge. Good no call though. And now Chitaroni just missing McRae, trying to spring him back in alone. Now back is Steve Wilson, watched by McRae. Flipped it along the boards to Nedemansky. He's got Conroy on his case, but here is Wilson, who steers to center. Back is Houston. Robinson near side, flipped it to the Phoenix blue line where Waters is there, and he'll rip it into the Aero zone. Brown after it, and they'll say that is offsides, and they'll bring the face-off back to center. 13:51 to play in the first period. It's Houston 1, Phoenix nothing, and Troy Gamble yet to really be tested in this hockey game. I don't know how good a news that is. I know goalies like to be tested early, but I'm sure Troy Gamble just likes the fact he's not seeing as much work as he saw in the first 2 games.
And what I liked about Troy Gamble this week was just how he was able to take what happened in Phoenix and totally put it behind him. He says, hey, that's ancient history. Can't do anything about that at all. Yes, he wants to get tested. And speaking of tests, the test there of all that strength and conditioning as McRae just comes in and nails Waters, who is built like a linebacker.
Here are the Roadrunners now, and we're going to get our first penalty on the Houston Aeros as Freer gave Vachon a bit of a bump and got the stick high, and Vachon takes a look at Mark Freer, says something that I wouldn't want to repeat to anybody, and while they sort this out, we will take time out. 13:40 to go in the first. Aeros lead at 1-0. This is the road to the Turner Cup. Jakes with a puck at center as Freer sits in the box for roughing, and now we'll get a look at the Phoenix power play. 2 guys to watch. Number 55 for Phoenix, Arto Blomsten on the point, and Rob Brown, who does a fantastic job of dishing the puck. This is a big opportunity, I think, for the Aeros to try and kill off here and establish their penalty kill. Puck is in the Aero zone. Down low, Rob Brown behind the net, centered. Nedemansky turned with a shot. No, never got the puck, and now it came back to the corner for McRae. And McRae down low, Brown, base of the right circle, centered, went wide, back to Blomsten. Here's the drive, and I think Gamble got a stick on that one, and it's out of play. Boy, I'll tell you what, though, Arto Blomsten showing how big a howitzer he has got, and he ripped a nice shot from the left point. An ex-cop must protect a rock star without falling in love. Just when you think you've heard this one before, well, we've added a little more muscle. Kickboxing champ Don the Dragon Wilson stars in black belt Thursday night at 7 on UPN 20.
What the Aeros want to try to do is to keep Rob Brown pinned against the boards. Let him dangle out there, but don't let him come into the slot area, the middle ice. As far as Blomsten is concerned, there's going to be a lot of pressure right now on Tippett and Conroy to try to keep the guys at the point from making that howitzer-type shot.
All right, off the face-off. Phoenix with it. Brian Straub. He'll down. Oh, he gave it to Brown, to Blomsten at a right point. Shoveled it in along the boards. Here's McRae, pounded by Robinson. Puck centered, intercepted by Conroy. Cleared to the line, not out. Held in by Straub. Turns it down for Rob Brown. 1:11 on the power play. Back to the line, Straub rips a shot, hit Gamble. Puck cleared, and on to play it went. Good puck movement. I'll tell you what, Rob Brown just shows so much there. You know, Barry, you brought up the point that they've got to keep him along the boards, but I got to be honest with you, as much as you can do that, he is so gifted with that puck. I don't care where you've got him hemmed in. He's going to, if there's a guy that's open, he's going to get you the puck 9 times out of 10.
And this is the guy that when he came out of juniors and joined Mario Lemieux with a 40-goal season, he was talked about as being the next Gretzky. He lacked the speed earlier in his career, a little bit of discipline. But what vision, what hands. He was 5th in 1988 in the entire NHL in scoring.
Guy can definitely pass the puck, and he's got such great vision and such great hands, and that's why this power play, why this hockey team's so successful. Off the face-off now, Brown at a left point. Turning down left side, get it back, Blomsten, one-time shot, hit legs, rebound, score! It took a bounce to the near side. Dave Tomlinson scores, and we're tied at 1. A power play goal.
And the whole thing about Tomlinson, he is so strong. He is the best deflector in the IHL. That did not happen by accident. They work on that, work on it, and work on it. Tomlinson, formerly up in Toronto, just parks himself right out in the front. They make the first save. The initial save is made on the blast, but Tomlinson does there and takes a swipe at it. It's like the back of the stick had radar at him.
It just amazes me how a hockey team that's #1 in the IHL in penalty killing came in the last 7 games and allowed 1 power play goal, have had so much trouble with this Phoenix Roadrunner hockey club, and that's how they've all gone in, is just like that. I mean, you know, they just work so hard down low and they get quality opportunities, even though that was a kind of a bouncing puck. Count all the same. Puck goes back into the Houston zone. Out of the net, Troy Gamble. We're tied at 1 with 12:18 to play. Grant pass out to the right side for Graeme Townshend. Now for Freer across the line, and they're going to whistle that dead. What are they calling? That can't be a 2-line pass, was it? Maybe it must be, but they're turning it back, and they'll bring the face-off back into the Aeros zone with 12:13 to play in the first, tied at 1. Terry Ruskowski, the head coach of the Houston Aeros, happy about the start his team had, not happy about the current result, but I'll tell you what, the penalty killing for the Aeros, it's hard to fault them when you look at how they've done all year, #1 in the IHL, but you just wonder what has gone wrong against this Phoenix Roadrunner hockey team, and I think maybe it starts with matchups.
Well, they did the job up on top. They had the problem down low. It looked like number 5, Kevin Grant, didn't get over quick enough.
Face off just inside the Aero blue line. Harkins, Maurice, and Chitaroni now. And the Aeros win the draw. Here is Ted Crowley. He'll skate behind his net, lug the puck up, and here we go. They'll break out with it. Here is Ted Crowley. Roll the puck to center for Chitaroni. Moves around Randy Pierce. Chitaroni across the line with Harkins. Chitaroni pulls up, looks for the pass. Chitaroni still with the puck, heading right in. He will turn, can't get a shot away as he's got Chapman on his case. Good defensive play by Brian Chapman. Now down in the corner, Harkins fighting for it with Bylsma. It squirts free. Maurice cutting down low, shoots upstairs on O'Neill. He makes the stop, and then he'll cover up and he'll hold on. Boy, I'll tell you, the Aeros, that line worked, and finally till Maurice went upstairs on him, and O'Neill makes a good save, and now Chitaroni having a little trouble deciding he wants to break with Brian Chapman.
Interesting point there. They came out in a trap with 2 men down low right away to try to prevent the Aeros from coming out, and Chitaroni's speed broke it. Maurice tries a backhander off that black blade and batting it down with that glove hand, the former Yaley.
Well,
Mike O'Neill.
You know, they talked about the fact that the biggest weakness about 2 weeks ago was he was getting beat upstairs, but the Aeros have tried all series long. Game 1 and 2, they were going upstairs more often than Mother went to the kitchen cupboard, and they couldn't beat him upstairs, and they haven't done it yet tonight. Here's Crowley with a shot. That hit O'Neill, bobbles the rebound, but covers up, and he'll hold on. And he'll just wait and get a whistle with 11:33 to go in the first period. 1-1 hockey game for the Aeros. A goal by Al Conroy, his first of the playoffs. A power play goal from Freer and Crowley at 1:34. But then at 7:24, Tomlinson his 4th on the power play from Arto, Blomsten, and Rob Brown. Drop of the puck, Aeros have it. Tippett rolled it right side, Malamont cutting down, lets the shot go. O'Neill makes a pad save, and he'll cover up and hold on. This is key. The Aeros are still, you know, the funny thing was, the Aeros at 5-on-5 know they've been better than this hockey team. Game 1, they knew that 5-on-5 they were better. And they stay out of the penalty box, and they're still the better team tonight. The 5-on-5, when they're at even strength, they have worked harder than the Phoenix Roadrunners. The power play is what killed them.
And they were totally confident. Stay out of the box. We got them at our place. We get a W.
Malamont a big drive, and O'Neill makes a pad save. McRae trying to dig it out. Still in the puck, and then he turns it back. Here's McRae trying to roll it down. It goes behind the net for Tippett. Centered! Conroy couldn't get a stick on it as O'Neill makes a nice, smart play, not allowing that pass to come from behind the net.
And a great check by McRae. Number 20, Scott McRae, who again came over right in the last week of the season. Took a big hit and got Wilson very flustered. Steve Wilson came over, tried to jab him. They didn't see it, but giving the body, doing it within the confines of the rules. As we've got Vachon now taking the face-off against Harkins. Vachon, an interesting kid's got his black belt in karate, played at Boston University, did not want to follow in his dad's footsteps and be a goalie by any stretch.
Smart kid. Face-off to the left of O'Neill. Now it's picked up by Chitaroni. He'll turn with a quick shot. O'Neill stopped it. Rebound. Came out and Bylsma was there. He'll steer it out. And now Randy Pierce Rolled it out to center for Waters. Dumped the puck into the Aeros zone where Gamble will come out and play it. Now here's Rob Robinson hooked on the play. Robinson giving a sharp check in the corner. Here's Bylsma, center one. Gamble swarts that away. Now the puck centered again. It came back to the line. Pierce the drive, hit skates. Picked up again by Tim Waters. He centered one to Pierce. Off the stick, the backhander went wide of the net. Here is Robinson for Houston, turning in his own zone. Can't clear it though. Held in by Waters, who's belted by Chitaroni. Puck came out in front. It was cleared to the line, not out. Wilson centered. Down low. Pierce lost the handle. Base of the right circle. Phoenix going to work right now. Here is Pierce behind the net. Pierce for Phoenix. Base of the left circle. Tied up by Jakes. Puck picked up by Bylsma. He's hit by Harkins. Now Steve Wilson make that Devin Edgerton rather to go and get it. Edgerton rips the shot. Scores! Devin Edgerton, 2-1 Phoenix.
Great pass, very quick along the ice, and Gamble outnumbered down there, just sitting all by his lonesome as Phoenix takes a 2-1 lead.
Well, the Aeros, who have worked so hard in the first half of this hockey game, got outworked in the last 30 seconds, and it cost them another goal, and they now trail 2-1. And I'm not so sure Troy Gamble wants this one back. Oh, it was deflected maybe.
Yeah.
That thing might have been deflected and changed direction on him.
That looked like it did, and Robo was in perfect position. Nonetheless, the Aeros down 2-1.
Here is Mark Laniel. Get it out to center for Freer, and it goes back into the Phoenix zone, and Arto Blomsten will clear to the line, not out. Grant held it in. Edgerton goes back. Edgerton gave the puck away. It was centered, but knocked free by Edgerton. Clear to the line and out at center. Here's Mark Laniel. Flipped it into the Phoenix zone. Blomsten goes back to play in behind the net. 9:45 to play in the first period. Phoenix 2, Houston 1. Blomsten banked it off the boards. It came out at center. Grant turns and lobbed it into the Phoenix zone. Arto Blomsten. He will play it, and they will say the Aeros are offsides. And whistle stops play. 9:35 to go in the first period, and a 2-1 hockey game.
What the Aeros have got to do right now is to stay disciplined, come back, work the puck. They came out skating with tremendous jump in their legs, moving the puck very, very well. But they've got to do a better job of checking. And what happened there, they couldn't clear the puck out of their end. They made a couple of attempts. They just couldn't quite get it out. And it came back, and it stung them.
Freer, Arneal, Slivchenko now. We'll see. This line has shown promise at times during the regular season, and the first time we'll see it here in the playoffs. Here is Chapman, cleared to center. No, held in by Arneal. Now picked up again by Chapman, again taken away by Freer. Freer turning at center across the line. Freer looking for Slivchenko, speeding down the right side. Tippett, Arneal behind the net. Here is Arneal cutting in, centered. No, wide, tipped away by O'Neill, and now Brian Straub jumps on a loose puck and cleared to center, and Rob Brown got behind Laniel, but Laniel hustled back to play. Now Brown, nifty pass. Here's Nedomansky, a drive high and wide of the net. Puck comes to center. Aeros making changes as Brian Straub flings one out to neutral for Chapman. Rolled into Aero territory, not out. Here's Brown, shoots, and Gamble a stick save. Now, here is a puck controlled by the Aeros. They bring it in 3-on-3. Tippett left side, centered, knocked away by Wilson. Now the puck in the corner to the left of O'Neill. Tippett trying to fish it out. It's along the boards for Scott McRae. McRae cutting in. McRae wraparound. Stopped by O'Neill, but I think we're going to get a whistle. Wouldn't have counted as we've got Conroy wheeling away at Tim Waters.
Conroy not exactly picking his spots. Waters, the NHL defenseman, 5'11", 185, 35 years old, played at Michigan Tech, has got a bunch of teams that he has played for in the NHL. He's their assistant coach and an agitator who wants to come back and take more of the former Detroit Viper captain Al Conroy.
Well, Conroy's going to go to the box. This is Tim Waters. And it'll be interesting to see what Bernie DeGrace, our referee, has here. Conroy seemed to be a little more the aggressor in it, but this all took place behind the play, and I didn't see what started all of it. So while they sort it out, we'll take time out. 8:34 to go in the first. 2-1 Phoenix. We'll be right back.
Aeros down 2-1. Conroy goes off for 4. Going off for 2 is Waters, and Conroy taking exception right there. He goes in and puts the slash up, and then Conroy just battles. Waters gives him the little bump. They're fishing for the puck. I mean, it looked very innocent the way that it started. Conroy just got the stick up a little bit as the stick of Waters came up. So it's 4-on-4, Ed, 5-on-5, and then
power play for Phoenix now, where the extra 2 going to Al Conroy. Tippett trying to center one. It's Tippett again, still trying to center one. Blomsten worked it away. Now Maurice picks up a loose puck, and then he's hit by Arno Blomsten. Ryan Straub in behind the net. Phoenix on the power play, but the Aeros killed off 20 seconds right there with good hard work. Now Blomsten at center. Popped one up the left side. Brought in by Ken McRae. Looking in front. McRae wanted to center one. It came down low. Straub to Brown. Scores! Rob Brown. Power play goal. And it's 3-1 in favor of Phoenix. And I got to be honest with you, Barry. I think Troy Gamble may have 1 save on 4 shots.
Yeah.
It's unofficial.
Troy does not look like his normal sharp self. He does not play well here and has not played well here at the Summit. It looked like there may have been some confusion defensively down there with Carl Valamont and with Mike Maurice. Just getting it right on the inside, slow to get over and react, was Troy Gamble.
Well, the power play bites him once again. And right now, this bite hurts. The Aeros, it's scary. They have given up 3 goals here in this first period, and there's still 8 minutes to play. 3-1 now in favor of Phoenix. Puck is in the in the Phoenix zone, cleared to center. It's rolled ahead, Chevalier. It goes back to the Aero blue line, and here is Scott Arneal. Arneal turning up ice. Rolled it to the right side, Townshend. So Townshend back on the line with Freer and Arneal. Puck loose at neutral ice. Here is Mark Freer trying to get one to Arneal. Arneal threw it right into the stick of Tomlinson, and it goes back into the Aero zone. So 3 unanswered goals by Phoenix in a matter of 3 minutes, and it is now a 3-1 hockey game. Arneal to center ice for Steve Jakes. Dropped it back. It hit skates. Came right back to neutral. Scott Arneal. Give it to Rob Robinson. Down the left side. It goes into the Phoenix zone. And I'll tell you what's changed right now is the Phoenix forechecking is just tenacious. Aeros having all kinds of trouble just trying to get it over the Phoenix line. Back at center. Pierce lost it, and Todd Harkins takes over for Houston in his own zone to Maurice. Ripped it into the Phoenix zone. Straub goes back, watched by Chitaroni, and now Chapman up the left side for Pierce. He'll move to center ice. Randy Pierce at neutral, shoots it into the Aero zone, and now Bylsma after it. Swatted away by Laniel, and now it is Mario Chitaroni, belted by Vachon. Vachon then pounded by Maurice, trying to draw a penalty, won't get it. I'll tell you what, Vachon is a marked man for the Phoenix Roadrunners. Chapman to Bylsma, cleared to center. Vachon roughed up and drilled into the boards by Laniel, and they're going to call a penalty on Laniel. Now things getting feisty again, and I got to tell you right now, the discipline still doesn't look much better.
This is the worst thing that could happen. If the Aeros continue doing this, they're playing right into what happened last week of playing dumb and dumber. Now more than ever before, this team has to be poised, controlled. If you're going to retaliate, do it with good hard checks, finish it off, but do not lose your cool. You got a chance right now if you're the Aeros with 6 1/4 to go to get back into the game.
3-1 Phoenix. We'll be right back. Well, the Aeros are going to get a break. Laniel goes into the box for 2, but Nick Vachon is going to go with him. And I'll tell you how good a news. That is. It's the fact that the Aeros have yet to stop the power play. Phoenix is 2 for 2.
Maurice was a good hard check, but there you saw Laniel grab with the takedown there, and it could have gotten ugly. The Aeros have got to be poised, and they need a goal desperately here to get back into this game.
Off the face-off, Phoenix back to play at Chapman in his own blue line. Forecheck by Harkins. So we're at 4-on-4 hockey for a couple of minutes. Straub had his pass intercepted by Maurice. Maurice trying to move it ahead, could not. Now Harkins throws it ahead for Crowley, and it goes into the Phoenix zone. Brian Straub. Straub in his own end, forecheck by Harkins. Breaks it out now to Dan Bylsma. Across the line with Pierce. Bylsma cutting in. He's centered. Pierce one-time shot. Campbell a stick save. Now Maurice, he'll skate it to center for Harkins. He'll roll it into the Phoenix zone. Back is Pierce, and here come the Roadrunners at center ice. It is Sean O'Donnell. Chip one ahead for Pierce. Now slings it back to Blomsten in his own zone. Forecheck by McRae. Blomsten fell. McRae's right in. He will wait, and he passed. Scores! Tippett. I don't think that's exactly what McRae wanted, but he got the result, and it's now a 3-2 hockey game. A big, big goal.
And we featured in the Open, the leadership of Dave Tippett. He is there. It was not classic textbook. It was not pretty, but oh, how beautiful it looks when that light goes off and Tippett gets the goal, making it 3-2. We said moments ago there was still plenty of time. The key was playing discipline, and Arto Blomsten tried doing too much himself. He fell to the ice as he makes the spin move, the pivot, and a very opportunistic McRae steadies back. And notice how Tippett drives to the net. Folks, that doesn't happen by accident. That happens because of the veteran and the savvy play there. As the spin, the puck comes loose, and Tippett comes up big.
Now the puck is back in the Aeros zone. Tippett turning at center, across the line with McRae. Tippett turning center, tipped away though as McRae tried to redirect. Now the puck kicks free to Robinson. He will turn, trying to center a pass. It comes to McRae. He's run into by Wilson. They wrestle along the boards. Puck came out in front. Tippett to the line for Jakes. Lets his shot go. It's in. O'Neill rebound. And O'Neill will cover up and he will hold on. 5:01 to go in the first. Roadrunners lead it 3-2 as Dave Tippett gets his first goal of the playoffs from Scott McRae.
And interesting too, McRae, who joined the club in the last week of the season, has really come together with this team. You know, at first he started off as a very quiet kind of a guy. I told Pete Deneen, what is it, you bring in a yuppie? This guy looks like he's getting ready to go to work for a Fortune 500 firm. But the 2 weeks that he's been here, getting used to his teammates, he's got a great attitude. He and Laniel are best of friends. They run a hockey school together. And like Murray Eads, who has joined us today, coming back from Adirondacks to lend moral support to this team, in incredible shape. And he proved his quickness there as he came up with that loose puck. And the Aeros have now cut it to a one-goal game.
Face off to the left of Mike O'Neill. Freer Arneal with Valamont and Crowley. That's Devin Edgerton out there to take the face off. And the Roadrunners have it cleared to center, and back is Crowley. Watched by Edgerton, now picked up by Sean O'Donnell. He'll skate it across the arrow line and steer it into the far corner. Now puck played by Ted Crowley. Crowley in behind his net. He'll move it up ice. Crowley's pass to Scott Arneal. He'll circle back into his own zone. Arneal rumps through the neutral zone. Arneal across the line. Arneal kind of shake and bake and make the move, but he lost the puck in him. Now it's Devin Edgerton. A pass to center for O'Donnell. Aeros hustle back to play a little D now. Sean O'Donnell flipped it into the Aeros zone behind the net. It's flipped away by Valamont and fished away by Scott Arneal. Arneal to center. Arneal to Markford. Didn't expect that pass, and it's loose at neutral ice again. At center, Shevalier turns at his own blue line. Shevalier, left side, dumped the puck into the Aeros zone. Gamble comes out to slow it. And will he play it? Yeah, he'll pass it nicely over to Todd Harkins. Harkins cleared, but turned it over to Bylsma. Couldn't get it out of the zone. Bylsma turning down now. Bylsma lets it go down low for Vachon. He hit it off the back of the net. Now the Aeros turn. Can they clear it? No. Still having trouble getting it out of their end. Straub rolled it along the boards. And finally, it's picked up Townshend. Can he clear it? No. Maurice fighting for it. And it's picked up by Phoenix. It came down low, and finally Gamble says, I've had enough of this. I'm going to clear it myself, but still can't get it out of the zone. Now Laniel will give it a try. He'll get the center. Laniel across the line, 3-on-2. Pass, Townshend shoots. No, hit skates. Townshend again, chipped it down, Laniel. He centered. O'Neill stopped it, and he will get down, and he will cover up with 3:19 to play in the first, and the Phoenix Roadrunners leading 3-2.
And Laniel kind of getting into some pushing and shoving with Chapman, but they've got to keep it under control.
In an effort to educate Houston on the fastest growing sport in America, the Houston Aeros will be hosting 2 weeks of hockey camps this summer. Camps will run for 1 week each, June 5th through June 10th, and then June 12th through the 17th. Goalies Rob Dobson, Troy Gamble, along with defenseman Curtis Hunt, and right winger Graeme Townshend will be the instructors for both weeks. For more information, please call 621-2842. Again, the number 621-2842.
And best regards from one of the Aeros' big fans, Oiler coach Jeff Fisher said, hey, tell Roscoe Tippett, go get him. He's a little busy preparing for the draft tomorrow, but he too has gotten caught into it. His son has joined one of the hockey leagues out at the Aerodrome, Brendan, and growing the legion, as you said, Adam, of folks that are taking advantage of the opportunity to play this great sport.
Face off to the left of Mike O'Neill. Sticks down, drop of the puck. Aeros fighting for it. Conroy trying to tip it loose. Now it's shoveled in by McRae, but it's picked up by Phoenix and Steve Wilson. To center for Brown. Knocked away by Robinson. Wilson got it back and fired it into the Aero zone. Jakes. Turned it over to Nedemansky, but couldn't advance the puck any further, and the Aeros take over. Robinson charging at center. A pass to Tippett. Across the line. Tippett trying to center. He was knocked off the puck. Now Tippett in the corner with Wilson trying to move it along the boards. These are those little battles that Terry Ruskowski talked about. He wants to see his team win more of them. Now McRae, he's pinned by Waters. He's fighting skate to skate kick. Tippett trying to center. He's knocked off the puck. And the Roadrunners will clear all the way down the ice. 2:30 to play in the first. Phoenix a 1-goal lead at 3-2. Aeros turning at center. Jakes rips it into the Phoenix zone. Along the boards it comes. Arneal takes it out. Arneal down low, Freer in the corner to the right of Mike O'Neill. It kicks free to Arto Blomsten though, and Phoenix takes over in their own zone. Here's a pass, center ice, Shevalier. He got behind Bylsma, but the puck was ahead of him, and Gamble will take no chances. He will cover up and he will hold on.
And Chevalier is so dangerous in the open ice. He's got excellent hands, great speed, and has got a better chance to play right now up in Los Angeles as Melrose is gone. You know, Melrose wanted to build that team of big, rough, tough guys, and a guy with the speed now with a Chevalier may have a chance next year to wear that sweater.
Coming up at the first period intermission, we'll chat with Mark Freer and get his thoughts here on not just the series, but this first period. It's been an up and down series for that guy. And, not been as much a factor offensively as maybe we thought. Mark Freer, you look at it, no points in 2 games. And only, and I'm looking here, 5 shots on goal in the series, so I'm sure they want to see a little better from him, but of course he's got the assist on the first goal here tonight. Puck is in the Aero zone. Now it's fished out by Devin Edgerton. Ripped the shot wide. It came back to Arneal, turning in his own zone for Houston. Arneal trying to clear. It came to Freer, and he will move it up, but not out. Blomsten held it in with a shot, kicked away by Crowley. Puck came out in front. Gamble stopped the puck in front again. It was centered, but it went off the stick of Tomlinson. Now behind the net. Aeros fighting for it, overskated by one of the Roadrunners, and now Townsend back in his own zone. Aeros just really struggling getting it out of their end tonight. Thus far, Shevalier trying to cut in. He was muscled by Crowley. Townsend turning. Battling along the boards with Shevalier. Good work along the boards. Finally, Bylsma rides into town and hopefully will save the day there. He will turn and bank it out at center ice. And then he was given a big hit. But he got the job done. Now at center, Aeros turn. Arneal for Freer. Got ready to go. He will shoot. Oh, the shot just went wide. It's O'Neill. Got a glove on that one. Puck picked up by Arneal to Townsend. Chipped it down along the boards. Arneal fighting. He tried to center it. It was knocked away. And then Tomlinson drilled by Harkins. And then Tomlinson fires back. And we get a final minute of play as icing being called on the Phoenix Roadrunners. And a face-off in the Phoenix zone. And now Shevalier wants to have words.
Harkins using that big 6'3", 210-pound frame. He's playing more under control than I have seen him play. He's moving his feet. He hasn't had anything going yet. Mark Freer, as you said, hasn't had a thing going this series. Almost lights it up as Freer puts that aluminum stick right there on the puck, but the bounce goes far wide, but he really drilled it trying to put it past Mike O'Neill.
Face off to the left of O'Neill. Harkins, Chitaroni, and Maurice with Grant and Laniel. And they joust to the face-off circle. Harkins and Vachon, they'll both be tossed. So now Randy Pierce will take the draw against Mario Chitaroni. Or will it be? It'll be Maurice. Maurice has always been reasonably solid in the face-off circle. He'll now face off against Randy Pierce. That's what I like about that line. You got 3 quality face-off guys in Maurice, Chitaroni, and Harkins. But not going to do much good when you don't win it. And that's what Phoenix did right there. Phoenix won the draw. Here is Chapman turning in his own zone. Chipped it along the boards, knocked away. Chitaroni came in, puck was sent in there, and O'Neill knocked it free. Ryan Strong threw it on the boards, knocked away by Vachon. Bylsma trying to clear, and it's cleared to the line, not out. Held in. Kevin Grant lets a shot go just wide of the net. Here is Chitaroni trying to get it down for Harkins. Fighting with Straub. Now on the boards. Chitaroni wants to go in there to dig it out, but Straub is there. Here is Straub. Rolled it near side for Pierce. It's a 3-2 hockey game with 20 seconds to play. Pierce at center. Ripped it into the Aero zone. Out of the net, Troy Gamble. He'll slow for Kevin Grant. Grant will get it to the near side. Harkins and a pass to center. Here's Chitaroni now. Chitaroni dumped the puck in and then gives Straub a little poke with the old glove there. Chapman turning with 2 seconds left, and that's the period as the buzzer sounds. Well, what an up and down The first 7 or 8 minutes belonged to the Houston Aeros, but Phoenix really dominated the middle part of that period. But a big Dave Tippett goal has the Aeros within 1. It's 3-2, and we'll chat with Mark Freer right after this. Welcome back to the Summit, everybody. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. It's a 3-2 hockey game, and I'll tell you what, that is a big, big Dave Tippett goal to draw the Aeros within 1.
Huge. I mean, the way that he made the play there, driving to the net as McRae comes up with the puck, was huge for this hockey team.
I'm really surprised. I really thought Troy Gamble would be a factor, but he's faced 10 shots in that first period. He's only made 7 saves, and as much as it looks like they've been deflected, we still haven't really seen the true Troy Gamble.
I haven't seen sharpness on the part of Troy. I've seen saves, but they haven't been crisp. Now, granted, 2 of the 3 goals were excellent, accurate shots, especially the Brown goal, but that crispness is not there.
Mark Freer is standing by, and Mark, you know, the Aeros built a 1-0 lead, and then Phoenix comes out with the 2 power play goals and then takes a 3-1 lead. How big was that Dave Tippett goal?
Oh, that was huge. Anytime you can go in the period, coming back, scoring a goal, or keeping the game close after the first period. Tippett's goal, you know, a prime example of something that maybe we didn't do as well in Phoenix, is driving the net. Dave went straight to the net. Scott McRae fed him with a great pass, and although it almost got picked off, Tip stayed with it and put it in.
Mark, technically, what's the problem getting the puck out of the Aero zone and moving it up ice?
Well, they do a great job forechecking. They're taking away the open man. The defense are really pinching, so we're going to talk about it between periods, and I imagine you see something a little different.
You know, Mark, if you remember back to Game 1, it was a very physical start to that hockey game. This game hasn't been as physical. Is that by design?
No, I think both teams want to stay out of the penalty box. Not so much by design. It's not as physical. Penalties are killing. We scored a power play goal early, and they came back with a couple, and you have to stay out of the penalty box in this game.
Mark, how much pressure on you right now? Scoreless in 2 games in 1 period.
Well, you know, the more pressure I put on myself, the harder it's going to be. I'm just, you know, I'm here to do my part. If I score, great. If I can prevent a goal, that's even better. You know, sure, they want me to score goals, but I'm just going to give it 100%, let the cards fall where they will.
Mark, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Mark Freer joins us here in the first period intermission. It's a 3-2 hockey game. The Roadrunners lead it here from the Summit. We'll have more right after this. Roadrunners leading the Houston Aeros here, and you know, Barry, you look at the shots on goal, 17-10, and that is a good sign for the Aeros that they're peppering away at Mike O'Neill. I think that's got to continue.
Well, they started out right away peppering, and Conroy got that first goal, and they continued. Now what they have to do is, like Mark Freer said, really do a job against the forechecking of Phoenix and create even more opportunities.
Take a look at the Columbia HCA scoring summary, and the Aeros got on the board first. Al Conroy on the power play. 134 from Freer, and it was 1-0 in favor of the Houston Aeros. And then the Roadrunners tied it. Here they come with 3 unanswered goals. Tomlinson, power play goal at 7:24 from Blomsten and Brown. And it was tied at 1. It was made 2-1 by Phoenix. Devin Edgerton, a power play goal, 3rd of the playoffs at 9:49. Bylsma and Pierce getting the assist. And then at even strength, Ron Brown gets his 3rd goal of the playoffs at 11:58. Straub and McRae getting the assist, and Phoenix looked like they were road running away with the hockey game, but the Aeros come back. Scott McRae picks up a loose puck from a fallen Arto Blomsten, fires it to Dave Tippett. Tippett gets his first of the playoffs at 14:27, and the Aeros have themselves down by a goal at 3-2. And speaking of Dave Tippett, it's been a really interesting year for him. It's first year in the IHL, first year as a coach, and before tonight's game, Barry Warner had a chance to talk with Dave Tippett.
Dave, after a dozen years in the NHL, what apprehensions did you have coming to the eye this year?
Well, you know, not having played in the minors before, it was an eye-opener for me, especially coming to an international league, which is much heralded these days and closely watched by the NHL because of the success of the league. And I came with my eyes open, and I think my eyes were widened when they got here. It was a great situation, fans, the hockey, the caliber of hockey, the marketing, everything that goes into this league is first class.
How did you deal with wearing 2 hats? One as a player, the other as an assistant coach.
Well, the coaching end of it was very interesting for me. It's a situation where when you're just a player, you worry about what you, the player, has to do. as a coach, there's so many other things. You're not only worrying about yourself, but you're worrying about the other 20 guys out there with you. And the attention to detail is phenomenal. You know, you think you're watching and know what goes on as a player, but as a coach, you've got to know every detail of every situation, every moment. And it's a very interesting thing, something that I'm very interested in, but it was an eye-opener too.
Has it been difficult for both you and Scott Arniel to kind of keep things in the locker room and not take them over to a coaching meeting because you'd be betraying the confidence of your teammates?
Well, there is a fence you have to walk there, and you know, both Scotty and I have talked about that a lot this year. There's different times when you feel like you should have voiced your opinion, and we've been fortunate that other players on the team have come up and maybe done some of the role that as a player, an older player should have on this team. And there's been situations where as a coach you can voice your opinion and you're a little closer to the players, so they maybe take you to heart a little more. So it's been a tight, you know, a fence to walk, but it's gone very well, I think.
It's safe to say that you, Scott, and the rest of the Aeros aren't ready to go on vacation yet, correct?
No, we're probably one of the only jobs in the world that fights to play longer and less holiday time. You know, we've dug ourselves into a little bit of a hole here, but we feel like we have a lot of character in the dressing room, and we come out, work hard, fix a few of the little technical things we feel we were doing wrong, and you know, play strong playoff hockey. We'll get ourselves back in the series.
It's 3-2 Phoenix leads here in the first intermission, and we'll have more right after this. Back inside the Summit, Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, a 3-2 hockey game. The Phoenix Roadrunners lead. You know, you look at the Phoenix Roadrunners, 2 power play goals kind of overshadows the fact that the Aeros have won themselves, and actually both their power plays have looked pretty good.
They look excellent as far as the puck movement and putting the puck past the goalie.
It's going to come down to that in these next 2 periods, trying to score on the power play. Speaking of power play, let's take a look at the highlights of that first period, and they are brought to you by McDonald's. And the Aeros use the power play to score first. Freer gives one to Al Conroy, shooting short side, and he scores to make it 1-0. And the Aeros really were skating very well in this hockey game. But I'll tell you, you know, the Phoenix Roadrunners, they come right back with 3 unanswered goals, and it starts on the power play once again. And you talked about Tomlinson, how well he is around the net deflecting pucks.
Well, this does not happen by accident. We'll watch the backhander of Tomlinson. Boom, he just swipes it backhand. Kevin Grant taking his time to get over and push him out.
So it is a 3-2 hockey game. That goal tied the game at 1, and then here come the Roadrunners once again to make it 2-1.
Well, just a perfect goal as they just put it right in by the side there. It may have been deflected, and Rob Robinson was in excellent position, but Bylsma just deflected it right past Troy Gamble.
Yeah, I think Bylsma may end up getting credit for that goal there, but then Rob Brown tucks one in behind Troy Gamble, and that's what makes this hockey game by a score of 3-2. And here has come the Aeros that they get their second goal. Scott McRae from a fallen Arto Blomsten. Shoot it, baby, shoot it. No, I'm going to pass it. And Tippett jams it into the far side, and that's making this hockey game 3-2. Taking a look at the first period stats brought to you by Billy's Blues Barbecue. Shots on goal 17-10 in favor of Houston. Aeros 1 of 2 on the power play. Phoenix 2 of 2. 3-2 is our score, and we will bring you second period action right after this. Along with Barry Warner, I'm Adam Gordon. It is a 3-2 hockey game. The Roadrunners lead it. And I'll tell you, at one point, Barry, it looked like the Roadrunners were going to road run away with this one, but the Aeros know too much is at stake, and that guy right there, Terry Ruskowski, knows, hey, we need the next goal to tie here and get our momentum right back.
All week long, they have worked on 5-on-5, 3-on-3, forwards coming back. And they did that during spurts, and when they did, they controlled the play. But when they didn't, it looked awfully ugly, not being able to get the puck out of their end. Forwards, Adam, have got to continue doing a job forechecking.
We'll start the period 5-on-5, and Al Conroy, who's got a goal in this hockey game, he will come out and start with Dave Tippett and Scott McRae, who, hey, this line has looked very good in this hockey game, and Robinson and Jakes defensively. The Roadrunners will come out with Ken McRae, Rob Brown, Vaclav Nedemansky Jr., defensively Steve Wilson and Tim Waters. Rob Laird, the head coach of the Phoenix Roadrunners. And he's got that man, Mike O'Neill, playing pretty good hockey right now, and he makes 15 saves in that first period. Off the face-off now, we're underway with period number 2. Roadrunners take the puck now. Rob Brown across the line. Brown pulls up top of the slot, hands it back McRae, rips the shot, got a little too much locked on it. Now Tippett turning left side. He'll romp to center ice. Tippett caught up to by Brown, trying to shoot it in there. He will, and now Waters is back. Tim Waters. Get it near side, Netamansky, run into by Jakes. Puck squirts free. Here's Tippett shooting! Oh, it's blocked in front as Wilson got breezers on it. It's trapped in his pants. His breezers there, and he will hold on. So Dave Tippett starting things off, but didn't get quite on goal there.
Good job there by Steve Jakes as he came in, took the chance, and the puck comes loose to Dave Tippett.
29 seconds played in the second period. A 3-2 hockey game. Phoenix leads it. Next goal is a big one. You know, that was the thing in game 1. The Aeros had their moments where they really surged and played good hockey and looked like they were going to catch Phoenix, but could never really get over the hockey game or get over the hump there and take the lead. In fact, they couldn't tie it. The Aeros, the only time they have really been tied in this series, have been at 0-0. And now the 1-1 game here in the first period, but now it is 3-2 in the second. Harkins to take the draw against Vachon, and Vachon wins it. He's outstanding in the face-off circle, folks. Brian Straub now in behind the net. He'll start it right to left. Aeros set up in their neutral zone trap as it's picked up by Phoenix. Skate to the near side. Out at center. And Laniel trying to knock it free. He did, but it went down into the corner. Randy Pierce first one there. Give it to Vachon behind the net. Locked up by Chitaroni. He centered Bylsma, who fell on top of the puck, turning. Gets the shot, and Campbell stacks the pads, and he will hold on. And now Laniel getting into it with Bylsma. You know, sometimes Phoenix, when they score or work hard, it isn't pretty, but I'll tell you, it just is unbelievable how they get to these loose pucks and turn them into good scoring opportunities, even on your back like Dan Bylsma.
Well, Bylsma there, and the Aeros have got to watch that puck coming out, which it does, and Gamble just smothers it. It's important for Troy Gamble to make a couple of sharp saves here. He has not, even on the saves he's made at him, he's just a half a step slow getting back to his feet or getting the blocker down.
Face off to the left of Troy Campbell. Harkins against Vachon, and the Roadrunners win the draw. Straub jammed it down and behind the net. After it's Bylsma. Pierce has it for Phoenix. He's pushed into the corner by Laniel. Puck came out in front, and the Aeros clear it. Chitaroni dismissed his man, Maurice. Now Straub threw it into the skates of Bylsma. Dan Bylsma brings it over to Chapman across the line. It'll go into the corner, and Kevin Grant is back. Kevin Grant. He'll sidestep a Bylsma check, and now to center for Chitaroni. He'll hit the line. Chitaroni pulling up, turns it over. Harkins right in. Stopped by O'Neill, and it's kicked over to Vachon. Cleared it out at center. A minute and a half played in the second period. 3-2 Phoenix. Crowley rips it out at neutral as the Roadrunners make changes. Maurice. He'll throw it right off the shoulders of Mark Freer and into the Phoenix zone. O'Neill stumbled as he played it. But Phoenix has it. Runners turn it out at center ice, but back is Houston's Ted Crowley. Snapped the pass right off the skates of Shevalier. Got it back. Crowley over to Carl Valamont. Now to Townshend, and here come the Aeros. Townshend across the line with Arneal and Freer. Townshend cutting down the right side. Townshend centered! Knocked away by O'Neill. Valamont trying to rip it down. It came behind the net for Freer. Freer waiting, still with the puck. Now comes out of the backhand. O'Neill stopped it. Loose puck, Freer. Turning, can't get the shot away. We're going to get a Phoenix penalty, a delayed call. Here's Arneal turning. Lets the shot go. O'Neill stopped it. It's loose in front. Straub finally plays it, and we will get a Phoenix Roadrunner penalty. Interference coming up, and the Aeros will go back on the power play, and they have shown signs of success. They've got one power play going, 2 opportunities, and they'll get their third here.
Freer using a brand new aluminum stick. Just loves coming out from behind the net. Does a great job there with the backhander. And then, as he moves up to try to get it, he gets interfered with. And the Aeros now find themselves with an opportunity to tie this game. And once again, we want to take a good look at Al Conroy.
Well, if the Aeros win, and they need to win to survive, here's what happens. They will play Game 4 tomorrow at 7 o'clock. The Aeros and the Phoenix Roadrunners. If the Aeros win game number 4, we know that game 5 will be in Phoenix, and it will be at 9 o'clock. And we also know that UPN 20 will be there. And And we hope that you'll be there with us, and we hope that we're allowed to be there for you. But lots and lots of hockey before that. Right now, the Aeros just need a goal here to tie this hockey game up, and finding themselves trailing this best-of-5 series 2-0. Trailing 3-2 in this hockey game. Face off to the right of O'Neill. Freer, Arneal, Conroy with Crowley and Tippett. Sticks down Bylsma against Freer. Arneal got it back. Here's Dave Tippett. Turns it down. Now lets the shot go. O'Neill got a pad on it. Now kicks over to Vachon, and he'll fling it all the way down the ice. So one shot and out, and back go the Houston Aeros. 1:47 left in the power play. 3-2 Phoenix, 17 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the second period. Crowley winds it up at center. Pass Arneal. Cuts right in on goal. Here's Arneal. Stopped by O'Neill of the Roadrunners. Now back to the line, and a miscommunication between Crowley and Tippett. And out down the ice it goes. Boy, I thought Scott Arneal had beat Mike O'Neill. Tippett, center ice. Snapped one into the Phoenix zone. Out of the net, it's Mike O'Neill. O'Donnell chipped it right over, though, to Al Conroy. Conroy for Arneal, base of the left circle. Sends it back for Tippett at a right point. Now at the circle, turning, Tippett waiting. Now jams it over. Crowley, one-time shot upstairs on O'Neill. Now it comes over and kicks to Arneal. Scott Arneal for Houston. To Mark Freer, couldn't center. He had Conroy all alone, but couldn't get the pass to him. Now Tippett back at a right point. Jammed it over to Arneal. Back to Tippett, top of the slot. Waiting. Now lets a shot go. That hit skates, and it's cleared out at center. 3.5 played in the second period. 3-2 Phoenix power play down to 50 seconds. I'll tell you, the Aeros, they haven't gotten much on O'Neill here on the power play, but they look good moving the puck, and we get an offside call on Houston, and they'll get to make some changes. With 46 remaining on the power play, they trail 3-2.
They changed their strategy there. They're taking the right shot of Ted Crowley, putting him on the left point, and the left shot of Dave Tippett, putting it on the right point. And Tipper still, though, is the quarterback on the power play. This particular situation, Vadim Slivchenko out there along with Mike Maurice and Harkins. So you got two muscle guys, and Slivy, who's got that great quickness and that ability to dangle the puck.
He is out there with a defensive unit of Laniel and Valamont. And Laniel, he's played a pretty good hockey game so far tonight. Harkins to take the draw against Randy Pierce at center ice. Sticks her down, drop of the puck. Phoenix wins the draw. I'd love to see face-off totals, because I think the Roadrunners have literally owned the face-off circle, especially to start the second period. Laniel, he'll start in behind the net. Now bring it out at center. Laniel, snap pass. Harkins got it behind the knee. Right in, shot. Stopped by O'Neill. Now the puck turn. I don't think Harkins got nearly as much wood as he would have liked, and now the Aeros are going to be offside, and the face-off will be brought back to center. Harkins got in behind the defense, but I don't think he got as much of the shot as he wanted. You know, with that 6'3" frame, he can really generate a lot of power, but Todd Harkins couldn't quite get Mike O'Neill.
No, he didn't get all of it by any stretch, as he comes in and he has trouble controlling it, spends too much time stick handling. It looked like he got it off the low part, off the heel of the stick.
Face off at center, Harkins, Slivchenko, Maurice with Valamont and Laniel. Drop of the puck, and Slivchenko shoots it into the Phoenix zone. Waters goes back. Tim Waters turns along the board, bank to the line, not out. Valamont held it in. 15 on the power play. Bylsma takes over. He'll bank it to the line. Again, not out. Valamont, a horse on the point, does a nice job. Here's Harkins. Centered. Slivchenko couldn't get the shot away. Valamont back to the line. Laniel to Valamont. One-time shot, and a stick save made by O'Neill. Here's the puck cleared, but Valamont had gone to the slot, the top of the slot, and Maurice's pass came back to the point, and down the ice it goes. Penalty over. Slivchenko now. Rolled it ahead. Here's Townshend. Shoots, and that was deflected and ricocheted wide of the cage. Here comes Nedemansky. Gives to Waters. Cleared to center. Now Nedemansky again. Rolled Bylsma. Shoots it into the Aeros zone. 15-10 to play in the second period. 3-2 Phoenix. Here is Jakes. Give it to Scott McRae. Skates it out left side. Chitaroni across the Phoenix line. Chitaroni waiting. Now here's Jakes right in the shot. This hockey game is tied at 3.
Adam, I don't know whether they'll give it to Jakes or to Townsend, but the presence of Graeme Townsend, who, as we have said before, is like a sequoia redwood. Trying to move Townsend off a puck is like trying to move Ray Childress as we take a look at him from the Aero zone.
Jakes is going to get it. He just signaled 3, so it's Jakes from the point.
And Steve Jakes, who has been, without question, the Aeros' best defenseman over the last 25 games of the season, lets it rip. But the job done by Graeme Townshend in screening and especially draping all over the smaller O'Neill ties this game up.
Face off at center. Conroy, McRae, and Tippett with Robinson and Jakes. Robinson rolls the puck into the Phoenix zone. Here is Steve Wilson, cleared but not out. Tippett held it in, skates through the check. Tippett still with it, trying to center to McRae. The puck came out in front, and the Aeros have it. Conroy rolled it down. McRae's got it. McRae jammed it down. Tippett behind the cage, a bouncing puck he corrals. Tippett face to the right circle now, getting set, centered. Here's the shot by Conroy, going just wide of the net. Now Brown, here to the line, not out, held in Robinson. Puck along the boards, and now turned around by Ken McRae. Had his pocket picked by the Aeros, but they are offside. 14:23 to go in the second period. Game tied at 3. These are the IHL playoffs. 3-3 game. Troy Gamble saving not only the Houston Aeros tonight, but hopefully maybe a little bit for the Oklahoma Disaster Relief Fund and the Red Cross. Every save he makes tonight. Donations are being taken to the Disaster Relief Fund. I know he personally said $5 for every save that he makes tonight. And so far, unofficially, he has made 8 stops. So that's 40 out of his pocket. Pretty good to do that math in such a hurry. Here's the puck taken by Houston. Now, they got a 2-on-1. Freer with Slivchenko, right in on goal. Freer shooting. Oh, and a good save by O'Neill. Back to the line, Robinson held the puck in. Steers it down for Freer. Mark Freer behind the net, takes a hard bump from O'Donnell, and he will clear to the line. Not out. Here's Jakes turning. Center, O'Neill gives to Slivchenko right in. Oh, I think that hit the post. I think that found iron to the far side, and it came out at center. Robinson rolled to Jakes, and it's hoisted into the Phoenix zone. Now O'Neill gives to Blomsten, hooks a pass to Tomlinson, can't get it out. Grant, a drive, and a blocker save made by O'Neill. Along the boards, Arneal for Houston. Lets it go to Slivchenko. Vadim cutting in behind the net, dodged a check. It comes to the line, Kevin Grant. Rolled it down low, Freer, but it's picked away by Blomsten. Shoveled to the line, not out. Skipped along the boards by Townshend, and now a rink-wide pass missing Chevalier. Laniel back, icing. And whistle stops play. Somebody get me some oxygen. I feel like I'm in Denver instead of Houston. This one is exciting. Tied at 3 with 13:12 to play in the second period.
A contrast in coaches. Terry Ruskowski, Rob Laird. Laird very laid back. Ruskowski very emotional.
No, come on.
Yes,
come on.
We must tell it like it is. We talked about how the passing has to improve, and that's exactly what has happened. The Aeros since the Jakes goal. Look at the work, the artistry as they drop the puck, and Slivy just hits the post. But Slivchenko's speed, which we featured in the open, definitely did open up the ice.
Harkins with Maurice and Chitaroni. I'd love to see this guy right here get a goal. Todd Harkins. He is more overdue than any of my library books from high school that I still haven't returned. Here is Laniel. And if they're listening, my librarians, I'm not returning them yet. Here is Brian Straub. Worked it down along the boards. It came to the line. Not out. To the road. Drive and a stick save by O'Neill. Here's the puck. Knocked free. Chitaroni. Boy, the Aeros have really gone to work, and I cannot believe they're going to call Chitaroni with this. That is an unbelievable call coming up, tripping. All Chitaroni seemed to be doing was fighting for a loose puck. We'll sort it out when we return. 3-3 our score. This is the road to the IHL Turner Cup.
Action Tuesday presents one powerful night of television.
There's nothing to worry about. Nobody's going to get hurt.
Careful.
Anderson and Grieco.
No pain, no gain.
2 hours of full-on excitement. Come hell or high water.
Winning the West was never easy.
legend. Marker Action Tuesdays on UPN.
Tuesday night at 7 on UPN 20.
Bernie DeGrace has called an excellent game thus far, but a call like this is why he has earned the nickname of Bernie Disgrace. Mario Chitaroni trying to get around. He didn't pull him down.
Barry, I don't know if you watched the game on UPN 20 last night where Bill Orwell got in trouble with the officiating calling the game. Luckily, we're high enough that I can shake my head and rant and rave, and there's not much he can do about it. Thank goodness we're high up here. Guys, I'll tell you what, that is not a very good call, and now Phoenix on the power play. Here comes Brian Straub, a pass to the left side, Blomsten knocked away, and again, the Aeros have not killed off a power play yet tonight, and I can't think of a better time now. They've worked so hard to tie it, and now they've got to come up with a kill. Here come the Roadrunners to Arto Blomsten. Hands it back to Straub. He'll jam it into the Aeros zone. Out of the net, it's Troy Gamble. Flip to Conroy. Aeros need a clear here. It came into the corner for Robinson. Steers it along. Can't get it behind now. Here is Netamansky for Phoenix fighting with the Grays for the puck. The Grays says, hey, I'm not playing. You get it. Now, puck came down low. Rob Brown, dipsy doodle into the corner. Brown still with it. Waiting, jammed it down. He's fished out in front, but now Jakes turns. Can he clear it? No, held in Blomsten. Conroy trying to clear it, but Jakes will, and the Aeros have a 2-on-2. Jakes with Tippett. Jakes across the line, shoots, stopped by O'Neill, rebound, and it's jumped on by Blomsten, and here come the Roadrunners. 50 on the power play. Give it to Brown across the line. Rob Brown crossed it up. Netamansky dropped it back. Straub. Here's Straub cutting in. Puck loose. Aeros fighting for it, but Straub got it back. Straub top of the slot to the far side. Rob Brown checked by Laniel. Netamansky turns. Now jams it down for Ken McRae. Over to Brown. Here is Rob Brown waiting, still drifting with a puck. Cross ice. Straub sends it back to Blomsten. Hooks a pass to Rob Brown. Half a minute on the power play. Brown fakes the shot back to the line. Blomsten lets the cannon go. That hit the post, I think. Rebound Brown again. Knocked away Laniel. Not out. Blomsten to Straub. Look at the Roadrunners move the puck. Wow. Here's a shot cleared. It came to the line, not out. Another shot in front. Great save by Gamble, and he'll cover up and hold on. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for Troy Gamble. A big left-hand save, kicks that thing out of there, and he keeps the game tied at 3.
That looks like the Troy Gamble that has stood on his head for a large part of this season. Without question, Adam, the key save of the game for the Houston Aeros. Why? Because Phoenix has been on the power play. They have been eating the Aeros lunch, but Troy Gamble comes up. They tried to clear it. Straub with the pass in, and then the backhander, and Gamble down, and he positions himself. And notice how the Aeros, Carl Valamont, the Duke, just slides in with his partner, Mark Laniel. And Laniel plays the same style as Valamont. And I got to tell you, Carl Valamont has not been the same player since he injured his knee around Christmas. He put himself back into the lineup there, and he put himself in tonight. Hip flexor and all. He said, whatever it takes, I will not sit in the stands for what could be the last game. I'm going to be out there and help my team win.
4 seconds still remain in Chitaroni's minor. Roadrunners win the draw, but they can't hold it in, and the Aeros have killed off the penalty. Brown knows this and gives them a nice round of applause. Now the Aeros go right back to work, but they got to start back in their own zone. Kevin Grant back to play in the corner. Grant will turn it up ice. Give it to Chitaroni. Moves it up to center. Nice move. Chitaroni now hits the line. Chitaroni, he's hit by Tim Waters. Nice play by Waters to knock Chitaroni off the puck. Puck back at center. Aeros Chitaroni trying to play it. That is offside. Play whistle down. Now, I'll tell you, we've seen some great physical play here, you know, like Chitaroni and Wilson there fighting for a puck, and I love to see that. And as long as they keep it nice and disciplined like that, let's keep it going.
Watch Mario Chitaroni. I mean, what a whirling dervish he is. He just comes in, takes the body, puts the puck out. He gets knocked over, wants to retaliate, does not give up. He comes up, he gets nailed, takes a little bit of exception to the way that Edgerton comes up high with the elbow. But what does Mario do? He just turns right around, finds that stripe, says, hey guys, I'm not going to retaliate. I am not going to put my team at risk.
10:32 to go in the second period. This hockey game tied at 3. Aeros have just killed off a big Phoenix power play. Puck is in the Phoenix zone. Waters turns, can't clear. Back is Wilson. He's checked by Arneal. Here is Tim Waters now. Rolled along, but Freer knocked it away. Tell you what, when the Aeros go to work, they have owned the boards, but they've had the same trouble in their own end as well. Now shot is Kevin Grant. Turns, lets a shot go. It ricocheted into the corner. Seems like whichever team can get the puck in their opponent's end, they've worked hard. Phoenix gets it in deep, they work well. But when the Arrows get it in deep, they do the same. Here's a great defensive play by Crowley to tip the puck away. Crowley turns, get it out at center for Mark Freer. Hits the line with Slivchenko and Arneal. Arneal turning. Now to Slivchenko, cutting in. Here's Slivchenko. Oh, he banned on a shot. Now another one. It's tipped away, and Tomlinson is back. Sized up by Crowley, who takes it away. Crowley for Houston, behind the net. Lost the puck. Picked up by Phoenix and shot all the way down the ice. Icing is indicated as Jakes will go back. He will touch. And whistle will halt play with 9.5 to go here in the second period. Aeros 3, Roadrunners 3.
Steve Jakes, the subject of the last feature piece done by Doug Mitchell of the Houston Post. Steve talking about his battle with to stay sober, which he has definitely conquered, and he has been without question the most improved player in the Aero hockey team. From midseason on, he has just been a different player, very confident, very strong, and just a man who works, and works. And the Post, by the way, the Aero front office invited members of the Post Sports Department, Doug Mitchell, Jay Frank, so many of the others, guests of the Aero management tonight.
I want to wish Doug Mitchell well. He's covered the Aeros all year long, and he's here tonight. He's, in fact, sitting about 5 rows in front of us with his wife and 2 kids. I want to wish him well. Now the puck back in the Aero zone. Robinson for Houston. He'll turn it up and out at center. Robinson through the neutral zone. Steers one left side, Maurice, but they blow that dead on an offside call. And they'll bring the face-off back to center with 9:14 to go in the second. Game tied at 3.
Adam, he doesn't have a point tonight. Almost got into a deal as far as a fight was concerned, but Mike Maurice is playing right now the kind of hockey that everybody expected when they looked at the guy who was built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has thrown his body around and is without question the most physical. Another guy who's done an excellent job and doesn't have anything to show for it, Scott Arneal. He is going to break loose.
Harkins, Chitaroni, and Maurice. Jakes and Robinson. Defensively. Here is Chitaroni. Fire the puck into the Phoenix zone. And it's turned around and kicked away by Robinson, who fell. And now Phoenix brings it in. Pierce gets by Jakes. Centered. Knocked away. And back was Jakes. He fell and stumbled, but the Aeros got the job done. Chapman back at center. Rolled it over to Brian Straub. Flipped it into the Aero zone. Jakes goes back. Under 9 minutes to play in the second period. This hockey game is tied at 3. Jakes will hoist it down the ice. It will be icing on Houston, but now the Aeros can make some changes, and they'll bring the face-off back into the Aero zone. 8:43 to go in the second. This game tied at 3, and Terry Ruskowski looking for something that can get this team on top. He'd like to see his team playing with a lead.
Now what he's got right now is the Conroy line against the Robert Brown line.
Dave Tippett has a goal in this hockey game, and I'll tell you, this is the guy we featured at the top of the broadcast, how big a game he needed, and he's come out and he has owned the boards. He has not lost many battles along the boards tonight. Puck is in the Aero zone. Brown centered, knocked away by Laniel. It'll go to Dave Tippett. He'll chip it to the line, and back out at center it goes. Ken McRae turns at his own blue line, shovel it past to Wilson. It goes back into the Aero zone. Nedemansky is there, and he was pushed along the boards. Now Gamble forced to play it after defenseman Laniel fell, and the Aeros do a fine job of turning and getting it out. Conroy couldn't clear the zone, though. Wow. Nice held or hold there. Now Tippett will try it again, and he'll come to center. Tippett trying to make the move around Wilson. Tippett's got it, dropped it back. It came to Conroy, right in. He will turn, shoot. Oh, and a great save by O'Neill. A marvelous stick save made by Mike O'Neill. And the Roadrunners turn and get it out at center. Scott Arneal. He'll roll it into the Phoenix zone. Back are the Roadrunners. It's chipped up the boards for Brown. And he takes a bump from Freer, and now Kevin Grant turns it around. Here come the Aeros left to right. Slivchenko with some ice. Slivchenko right side. Going right to the goal! Saved by O'Neill. Wow, a great move by Slivchenko, but a nice save by O'Neill. Puck came out in front. Roadrunners have it. They'll skate it out at center. Steve Wilson barreling down the left side. Shoots the puck into the Aero zone. Out of the net, it's Troy Gamble. He'll lead for Crowley. 7:23 to go in the second. This game is tied at 3. Mark Freer gives to Arneal, barreling right in. Goody Hooper, his shot just wide of the net. Now the puck down low. Arneal, face of the right circle, centered. It hits skates, and Tomlinson fished it away and brings it back out at center. Aeros have had 3 straight shifts in a row where they've really gone to work. They'll try it again. Here's Chitaroni, left side for Houston. Shoots! Oh, he flipped the wrist shot wide of the net along the boards. Here is Harkins for Houston, working down low. Fished out Chitaroni, cutting down. It's the right circle now. Turns with the puck. Chitaroni, good work. Still dangling. Lost the puck, and a penalty coming up to Chitaroni. I'll tell you what, though, it's one he's going to have to take. Otherwise, Shevalier is in alone.
Yeah, Chevalier's cut on that, too. Now, whether that came from the penalty or not, we'll let the referees determine.
I don't know how he would get cut from a trip, but while they sort it out, we'll take time out. 3-3 game, and we'll have more right after this.
Great job by Mario Chitaroni, but he ends up, as he dangles the puck, stick handles his way all the way up, but gets caught for the trip on Shevalier right at the top here. Right there, loses the puck at the blue line and gets the puck up by the stick up by the Breezers.
Puck is in the Phoenix zone. Arto Blomsten back behind the net. Aeros need another big kill here. They killed off the last Phoenix one. Puck is in the Aeros zone, or in the Phoenix Roadrunner end now. Brian Straw. He'll skate it to center ice for Tomlinson, and he'll rip it into Aero territory. Ooh, that almost got out of play, which would have been a break for the Aeros, but it stays in. Robinson to the line and out at center. Brian Straub now turns at neutral ice. He's forechecked by Conroy. Just about got a piece of that. Now again it is Straub. He'll hammer it into the Aero zone. Gamble comes out to slow. First one back, Robinson, but Gamble wants to play it himself, and it's picked up by Conroy and shoveled down the ice. 6 minutes to go here in the second period. Game tied at 3. 1:15 remaining in the Phoenix power play. Arto Blomsten across the line. Jams it down and heads up. That one out of play. Now, I don't know if that was, yeah, it was deflected. Brady DeGraze, it went off an Aero, and it will remain, the face-off will, in the Aero end.
Once again, the penalty-killing unit that has worked so hard during this tough week of practice coming up big with Tippett and Conroy out on top and Jakes and Robo behind.
On Friday, May 12th, Eddie Murphy has 48 hours to catch a cop killer without becoming one himself. Not an easy task when you're teamed up with Nick Nolte. It's the original 48 hours, May 12th on UPN 20.
Now the pressure with Rob Brown out is on Arneal and Mark Freer to do the job out high against their forwards.
Big face-off here, and the Aeros can't come up with it. Blomsten's got it. Blomsten, right side. Jammed it down low for Rob Brown. Brown waiting, drifting back to the right point. Watched by Freer. Now Brown has some room. That's a shot goal. That's deflected by Laniel and up and out of play. 52 seconds left, and the penalty to Chitaroni, 5:35 to go in the second, a 3-3 game. And I think at this point it's safe to say that face-off's always important, but I can't believe how magnified they've been in this game because of how many Phoenix has won.
Well, the excellent point, Adam. We have not seen the Aeros control it. You got 5:35 to go in a 3-3 game in this period. You got Freer in there who's good on the draw. They've got to clear it and buy some more time.
They win this one. Can they get it out of there? No. Held in by Brown. Fished out by Laniel and cleared. 43 on the power play. It's ripped in by Brian Chapman. Gamble slows it. First one back is Laniel. He will rip it along the boards to Arneal, and it's down the ice. Big play there. Chapman hustles back to play in his own zone. Forecheck by Scott Arneal. Arto Blomsten. Blomsten in his own zone, weaving up and out of his end. Out at center, Blomsten across the line, and it was kicked away by Arneal, and he'll shoot it down the ice. Big play by Arneal and a smart play. He could have skated it, but instead he'd waste no time to get it down the ice. 10 remaining in the Chitaroni minor. Enough for one more rush. Puck knocked away, though, by Maurice, and now Harkins off to the races. Harkins shoots, and a blocker save made by Mike O'Neill. Harkins in behind the team fighting for it as the penalty is over. Team to 5 aside. Here's a chance now for the Aeros. Harkins turns with his shot. Oh, and he ripped the wrist shot wide of the net. Now on the boards, Brown and Chitaroni turned over in front. The Aeros couldn't get a shot away. Here is Kevin Grant, right in. He will shoot. Stopped O'Neill. Rebound. Score! They score! It is a 4-3 Aero game.
And Harkins, who comes up big on Friday nights, he calls it the Friday night special. If you'll remember, after the key trade of the year that Pete Deneen pulled off, it was Harkins who scored twice on a Friday night. Kevin Grant started a good heads-up play. The Aeros forechecking, and Grant took the shot. All hell broke loose. The puck bounces around. We'll see who they get credit for. O'Neill yells to no avail.
Well, now Kevin Grant makes the big play at the point, and you'll see it right here. Watch Grant hold the puck, make the move around Nedemansky, and it all was the end for Mike O'Neill there as Harkins fished one out, but it will not be him who gets the goal. I think it might be Mario Chitaroni.
And Grant comes down, who starts it, comes down right into the crease. And we'll see how it's called, but a great play there by Kevin Grant, who's playing still with a bruised shoulder, but hey,
it ain't the heart. It ain't the heart, Barry.
You got that right, pal. And it doesn't get any better than this.
4-3 Aeros lead it now. Here is Robinson again. Robinson steers it down into the corner, fighting for it. He's hooked down by Waters. Play going on though. Wilson rolled it near side, and now it is Nick Vachon winding it up out of the zone. Vachon near side, Randy Pierce shot it into the Aeros zone. Robinson hustles back. Rob Robinson in behind his net. 4:02 to go in the second period. Aeros lead it 4-3. Jakes hands to Robinson. Out at center for Al Conroy. He had a little trouble with the puck, and he was drilled by Wilson. Bylsma across the line. That looked offsides, and yeah, there's the whistle. And play is whistled down with 3:47 to go in the second period. 4-3 Houston. These are the IHL playoffs.
A great job by number 5, veteran defenseman Kevin Grant, who starts it with this great move around Nedemansky and finishes it off. He lets the blast go. Notice how he continues to come down. Goes right behind the pile, and so opportunist. He is there.
It is Harkins. Or Grant maybe that tipped it in.
Yeah, Grant tipped it in. He just followed it. He started and finished the play.
That's an unbelievable call by the officials to see that one. I'm sure Grant probably said something to him. That is an unbelievable call.
But the way that he positioned himself, he came wide and then just scooted right down as the goalie was flat on the ice.
All right, Harkins, Chitaroni, and Maurice with Jakes and Robinson. Vachon, Pierce, and Dan Bylsma. 3:42 to go in the second. A 4-3 hockey game. Aeros lead it. They've come back with 3 unanswered goals. And you know what? I think this really shows them some confidence. Coming back with 3 unanswered goals when they did look down and out. That's big. Now it's up to Troy Gamble.
Adam, all year long, we've said there's one 4-letter word Roscoe's team does not have, and that's quit. They're showing it tonight.
Here they come again. Chitaroni at center, lost the handle on it. Jakes turns it around. Jakes trying to fire it ahead. Now the puck turned around by Pierce, cutting in. Stop shot. Gamble with a right pad save. And then Chitaroni giving a hard shot from Randy Pierce. And Chitaroni looked right at Bernie DeGrace, says, where's the penalty? No penalty, though. Play going on. Robinson and Vachon fighting for it. Here's Vachon right in. Shot stopped by Gamble. He'll hold on. And again, Troy Gamble makes another nice save, and he's made a couple of them in this period, and that's good to see.
Adam, at about the 5-minute mark, Troy Gamble made that left pad save that was the key. That's the first save that we saw during the course of the game where Gamble looked like he had it totally sharp. And once again here, as the backhander comes in, not only does he make the save, but he has no problem whatsoever locating the puck. And notice the 2 white jerseys there in front of him as bodyguards.
Face-off will be in the Euro zone to the right of Troy Gamble. 3:07 left. Gee, Terry, you look relaxed.
Yeah, right? Yeah, the check's in the mail, and I got a full head of hair.
Edgerton with Tomlinson and Shevalier, and a false start between Freer and Edgerton. What an acquisition, though, for Phoenix with Devin Edgerton and Brian Straub, both coming over from the defending Turner Cup champion, Atlanta Knights, who, by the way, won last night 7-1 over Las Vegas. Here's the puck. Shot out to center by the Aeros, and Townshend trying to turn it up. He's drilled by Blomsten, and a penalty coming up. Aeros are going to get a power play as O'Donnell will go back to play it. And with 2:50 to go in the second period, the Aeros will get their 4th power play right now. And let us see how that works as Arto Blomsten will go to the box. I'll tell you what, I love this guy. I love watching this guy play. He is big. He makes a little bit of an error here, but he just is such a presence offensively and kind of gets the old how do you do in there to Graeme Townshend.
The guy's making $350,000 a year. Winnipeg traded him, and Barry Melrose thought that he was definitely a worthwhile investment. Of course, Melrose is gone, and as you look at him, as I said at the open, he looks like the kind of guy that the Oilers would like to draft tomorrow, like a defensive end.
I guess Barry Melrose never got the final chapter of the Anthony Robbins book he got to his team, because he is a big believer of Anthony Robbins, and sometimes I think that's looked upon in the hockey world as kind of strange and different that you believe so much in a motivational speaker, but he swears by it, and obviously it wasn't enough as he is gone. I will tell you this much, I think it'll be a matter of time before he's back behind the bench as soon as I think next year.
Well, while he believes in Robbins, I believe in Mark Freer in a power play.
Freer at center ice. He'll wind it into the Phoenix zone, but it was quickly rejected by the Roadrunners. Aeros having a little bit of trouble trying to move it up. Edgerton, good job of forechecking. Conroy's got it. Rink line pass for Dave Tippett. Bring it across the line to Scott Arniel. Arniel left point, lost it, back to the line. Held in by Arniel. Arniel jammed it down. It was picked away by Waters, then belted by Dave Tippett, and now fished out Arniel. He'll roll it back to the line for Conroy. Conroy to Dave Tippett. Turns top of the slot for Ted Crowley. Crowley, the shot hit O'Neill, and he'll hold on. I'm not so sure Scott Arniel didn't take a little bit of a Jeff Bagwell swing at that, and O'Neill makes a nice save. As you see, Ted Crowley comes up a little sore on his wrist. Did he take a little bit of a two-hander? Maybe. He looks a little sore.
Crowley's got that, and he's laughing right now. Crowley has got that great cannon for a shot from the point, as Tippett, with a great pass, puts it right on his stick and lets the wrist shot go. But his problem is he has got to have a clearer path. He's been shooting that howitzer, but it's been in traffic. Never gets to the goal.
Yeah, I go back to the February 18th game against Kansas City, where he had 2 goals and an assist, and was such a big factor, and you really thought that was where he was going to emerge. Then his back has been bothering him in and out here a little bit. Now the puck cleared by Phoenix, takes a weird hop, and now the Aeros are going to come right back with a penalty to Scott Arniel. And it's played by Freer, and Scott Arniel's going to go into the box, and that'll do it for the Aero power play. 1:51 to go in the second period. 1 minute 2 to Blomsten, and now 2 minutes to Scott Arniel. 4-3 in favor of Houston, and we'll see why Mr. Arniel is in the box.
Yeah, from up here it did not look that flagrant, but number 11, Scott Arniel. Yeah, there it is. I caught it from a different angle. Once again, our UPN crew downstairs coming up with the big pictures. Paul Bykowski, Aaron Silverman, and the cast of thousands making this possible. From my vantage point, looking at it from up here down there, it didn't look like it was flagrant, but good work, and Grace right on top of it.
McRae and Maurice now with Valamont and Laniel. And I think the next 2 minutes of this hockey game are big. Let's just either get out of this period without a goal, or let the Aeros score a goal, obviously. But I think at this point, just get out of this thing with a 4-3 lead. A lead into the second period, so huge for the Aeros. They had just 1 win all year long when trailing after 2 periods. And a quick thought on my stats: I don't think they won a game all year when trailing after 3. Think about that. Here's Carl Valamont across the line, rips a shot high and wide of the net. Now picked up by McRae. He's had a strong game tonight so far. Here is a puck controlled by Phoenix. Sean O'Donnell turns it back to the near side for Brian Chapman. Phoenix will get a power play in 35 seconds. Chapman rolled it out at center. It got through the skates of Laniel. Valamont's got a hustle back. He's sized up by Pierce. Valamont goes into the corner, but Pierce beat him to the puck. Valamont's got him corralled in the corner. Skate to skate to the right of Troy Gamble. Bylsma trying to fish it out of there, and then he's pounded by Laniel. This is as physical as I've seen Laniel since he came over as an Aero. Now McRae turning in his own zone. Give to Maurice, trying to move it out at center. And it's knocked away. Bylsma shoulder to shoulder with McRae. Couple of Mack trucks there. Now Chapman winds it into the Aero zone. Maurice was there. Can he clear it? No, but Laniel will. To center for Conroy. Conroy had to turn back into his own zone, and he's belted by Chapman, who takes over. Chapman centered. It went wide. This is a big turnover now. It's Blomsten who gets it into the zone with 40 seconds. Blomsten behind the net. He is watched by Laniel. He'll slip it down. Brown waiting. Brown still with it behind the net. He'll come centered. Knocked away. Puck in front, and Gamble will hold on. Wow, you want to know how big that turnover is for Al Conroy. He had the puck, and all he had to do was clear it down, because as soon as he got the puck, Phoenix was on the power play, and all he had to do was get it down. Instead, it allowed Phoenix to set up and get a quality scoring opportunity.
And the puck ends up on the stick of the most dangerous man on the ice, and that is Rob Brown. Great hands, great vision, perhaps along with Kip Miller, the best passer in the IHL. And as we said, his rookie year playing with Mario Lemieux, 40 goals. Lack of speed is what kept him out of the NHL, but he just dangles and is so scary. What the Aeros are doing, though, they're doing a good job of angling Phoenix off the play.
Blomsten, top of the slot. Rolled it over to Brown. 22 left in the period. Puck behind the net. Aeros need a clear. Here's a puck picked up by Brown. It's chipped along, batted back behind for Brown. Base of the left circle, Arrow territory. Sends it back. Oh, here's Blomsten. Takes the shot though. Now Brian Strom at a left point. 5 seconds left in the period. Brown turn it over. Tippett turns, can't clear. Now it's out at center. 2 seconds left, and the Aeros have at least dodged a wee bit of a bullet. There is still 9 seconds left in the Arneal penalty, but a big, big period for the Aeros. 3 unanswered goals, and the Aeros are now leading this hockey game 4-3, and we will have more IHL playoff action from the Summit right after this. We're through 40 minutes of action here at the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. It is a 4-3 hockey game now, and the Aeros have kept the Phoenix Roadrunners off the board in 2 ways, not only at even strength, but on the vaunted power play.
And Adam, the big thing there, the much maligned Aero defense coming up with big goals. Steve Jakes with an outstanding job, and then Kevin Grant starting and finishing a terrific play.
Yeah, it's the defense tonight that's doing it. As you mentioned, Jakes and Kevin Grant. One guy you talked about, Barry, is Scott Arneal. He doesn't have a point, but he seems to be a factor.
He's always a factor every time he's on the ice. That veteran experience is going to make its presence felt.
All right, well, you know, before tonight's game, you had a chance to talk with Scott Arneal, and again, he's another guy that's kind of new to the situation of being a player and assistant coach. And like we said, Barry, you had a chance to talk with Scott Arneal.
Scott, what's the biggest surprise when you came to the Deep South to play a Canadian sport?
Well, you know what, at first, being in a new game, I know that the old Aeros were here 20 years ago, but really there are quite a lot of knowledgeable people that know the game of hockey, and I think that it is really evident as the year went on, and our attendance grew tremendously. You know, just talking to people every day and seeing people, and it's been really an eye-opener and been a lot of fun and quite enjoyable time here.
What surprised you about how this team came together?
Well, I think it took some time. I mean, anytime you start in a new organization, you're starting with people that you know, haven't had hockey here in a while, and you got to sell it to the fans first of all, to the city of Houston again, and then I think we did a tremendous job of that. The marketing staff and you know, the PR staff, and I think that you know, with Pete and Steve and Terry going out hockey-wise and getting proper players. I mean, it took us some time from training camp. I remember back in training camp we talked about it. You know, we were short numbers at the time, and Pete was scrambling to try to get some more bodies in here. We had a few injuries and whatnot. And, it seems like a long time ago, but we've made some tremendous strides forward.
What's it been like for Scott Arneal, father, to have Brendan at practice, have a stall, come out and skate, and be the mascot of this Aero team?
Well, I don't know. He's been fun, and he's enjoyed certainly every day of it. And you know, it's fun having him around. I mean, last year I had him skating a little bit, but I usually had to hold his hand, right? I always had to hold your hand, but not now. He gets out there on his own, and you know, it's a great relief for him. I mean, he gets away from mom and comes out and spends some time with the guys down at the rink.
Scott, first time all week I've seen you smile. Has this been the toughest week you've gone through all year?
It certainly has. I think that you know, I you know, was looking at a situation that we maybe had to split down in Phoenix, and you know, that last game really was just not the Houston Aeros at all, and I think that was the farthest thing all year long we've played from the type of game that we've wanted to play, and I think you'll see a different hockey club this weekend. I think we'll turn things around, and I kind of sometimes, I try not to do it on purpose, but my wife always tells me that I wear my game on my face sometimes, and I'm grumpy around the house when we lose like that, and maybe I shouldn't be, but it's just my way of getting myself geared back up for this weekend and getting myself ready for the game.
Thank you, Scott Arneal, Brendan Arneal, and thank you, Barry Warner. It is a 4-3 hockey game through 40 minutes here at the Summit, and we'll take a look at the Columbia HCA scoring summary right after this. Along with Barry Warner, I'm Adam Gordon at a 4-3 Aero lead here, and the Aeros are just 20 minutes away from at least avoiding elimination. And I wonder what Terry Ruskowski is saying, if he's saying anything at all in that locker room.
Whatever you're doing, guys, keep doing it and turn it up one more notch.
The Aeros need to keep it going there. You talked about in the Oshman's game plan about not only scoring first, but scoring often. They did score first. They didn't score often in the first period, but they got those 3 unanswered goals.
Well, that was key, and the way that they did it. Steve Jakes, who has been the most improved player in this hockey team, and Kevin Grant, bad shoulder and all, worked so hard, made a great move, and then finished the play. He starts and finishes the play, and Gamble looked like the Troy Gamble we've seen so often this year.
Take a look at the Columbia HCA scoring summary of that second period. It was 3-2 after 1, and then Jakes from Chitaroni and McRae at 5:02 tied the game at 3. Then the Aeros would take the lead. Kevin Grant from Mike Maurice and Mario Chitaroni at 15:36, and the Aeros have a 4-3 lead on a couple of defenseman goals. And with that in mind, and the Aeros leading 4-3, Barry, why don't we take time out for good health? After 40 minutes of play from the Summit, it's a 4-3 hockey game. The Aeros leading the Phoenix Roadrunners. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, and Aeros 20 minutes away from trying to at least get back into the series 2-1. I think right now the big thing is there's 9 seconds remaining in the power play to start that third period. They need to kill that off and then go right after the Roadrunners.
Continue doing what they were doing, but also be very, very wary of the Phoenix team. You cannot relax 1 second against this disciplined hockey club.
Now, I'd like to think from watching many playoffs in my time that usually the ref will let the teams play and swallow his whistle. We'll have to wait and see what happens for that third period. Let's take a look at the highlights, and they are brought to you by Toyota. Aeros will tie the game at 3, and it would be Steve Jakes from the point. I thought maybe it might be deflected, but no, it's in there, and the Aeros tie the game at 3 on a goal by Steve Jakes, first to the playoffs. But I'll tell you what, this play was all Kevin Grant, and watch the move he makes to hold in the puck at the point. Maurice will fire it back, and then Grant sees Nedomansky, who makes a very weak attempt to poke check it, and Grant gets the shot away. But watch him, he'll come around the net and deflect the shot from Chitaroni right there, and the Aeros have a 4-3 lead after 2 periods of play. So the Aeros are 20 minutes away, and we'll bring you the final 20 minutes. Can the Aeros get back in the series? We'll find out. First, a quick look at the high-low stats. 16-11 in favor of the Aeros. Both teams 0 of 2 on the power play. Phoenix 9 seconds away from going 0 for 3 through those 2 periods. It is 4-3. Houston will have the third period right after this. It's a 4-3 hockey game as we get ready for the start of the third period. And before we start the third period, let's take a quick look at the Snapper scoreboard. Other playoff action in the second period. Denver and Minnesota tied at 1. That game played in Minnesota. And that one, by the way, being played at the Target Center instead of the St. Paul Civic Center. The Target Center, home for the Minnesota Timberwolves NBA team. That game tied at 1. Also in the first period, Detroit, Kansas City, no score. And also in the first period, Peoria and Fort Wayne tied at 1. That series, by the way, tied at 1. Here we go, Houston. Aeros, can they do it? 20 minutes away from picking up their first ever playoff victory. And it couldn't come at any better a time, but they've got to go to work here. They'd have a lead. They've killed off the penalty now. And let's see if they can get another goal. Puck is in the Aero end. Arneal trying to clear. It's along the boards. Arneal having it fished out by Brown. Phoenix coming out hard here, trying to move it along. We've got Jakes getting into it with Ken McRae, and we get a whistle, and now Jakes taking a whack at Brown, then going after McRae, who comes in, and everybody getting locked up here, and Steve Jakes trying to antagonize here. I like what Jakes is doing, trying to get Rob Brown to go off the ice with him here, but I don't think that's going to happen, and what might very well happen here is Jakes could be the only one.
Well, that's the point, Adam. If they send Jakesy off, then you don't accomplish anything. The point is you try to sacrifice, take one to get their outstanding player, Rob Brown, in the penalty box.
Well, they're going to take McRae off. Let's see if this is even up. I'm thinking back to the Conroy situation back in the first when Conroy got an extra 2. And we'll wait and see as we'll take a look at what started this. Jakes, the nice hit on McRae, and oh man, imprinted him like a credit card along the boards.
Well, see, McRae comes up with the elbow there, so they kind of joust and get into it a little bit. Jakes goes there, and then he says, okay, who else can I grab? There's Rob Brown. He's trying to get Brownie, but they got 27.
Hey, that's that'd have been an interesting maneuver if they could have gotten Brown there. So here we go. It'll be 2 minutes each to McRae and Jakes, so no power play for Phoenix or Houston, and we'll go 4-on-4 here.
Again, Freer and Arneal are 2 guys that I look for in this period.
Off the face-off, Aeros not going to take any chances here, and Gamble is going to cover up. And again, I think one situation I really like to watch here very closely in this third period are the face-offs. The Aeros, I think, really got dominated in that second period, and I'm trying to think back to the first, and I can't think of too many there, and that is such a key, especially as this game goes on.
Well, Vachon is excellent on face-offs, and so has Edgerton been.
Face off to the right of Troy Gamble. Brown against Freer. And they joust. And Brownie says, hey, come on. He can't do that. He's got to get his stick down. 13,358, the crowd tonight. And they're entertained to a good one as Tomlinson, a quick shot. Wow, that got behind Gamble, but scooted wide of the net. Crowley rolled it near side for Freer, couldn't find the handle, and Arto Blomsten is back. Shoveled it out at center. Now into the Aeros zone. Rob Brown, centered. Great defensive play by Crowley to lunge for that and pop it away. Here is Freer in his own zone. Couldn't clear it. He's got to go back. Now rolled it over to Crowley. Tell you, Phoenix has come out here in the first minute and have really taken the pressure to the Aeros. They're skating well. Aeros have spent most of it in their own end. Now they'll break it out. Freer hands the pass to Scott Arneal, barreling right side. He'll shoot it into the Phoenix zone. Freer goes after it. Out of the net, Mike O'Neill skims it along the boards. It came back to the line. Here's Kevin Grant with a goal tonight. Rips the shot. Hit O'Neill. Rebound in front, but it was knocked away by Randy Pierce for Phoenix. Skates to the near side. Forecheck by Arneal. He'll get it to the line. Not out. Freer, the drive. Big save made by O'Neill. Bylsma. He will turn and move it out at center. Dan Bylsma for Phoenix. Winds it into the Aero zone. Down the left side. He's belted by Grant. Puck goes down low. Laniel is there for Houston. He's run into by Bylsma, but the Aeros turn it and get it out at center. They've got a 3-on-2 if they can hustle. Maurice cutting in. Makes the move. Shoots. Couldn't get a good shot away. It went wide. Now Grant turning in behind the net. Stuff shot. Right in. Score! Mike Maurice. Top shelf where Graeme keeps the Del Pickles, baby. 5-4. We're 5-3 in favor of Houston.
We said earlier in the game that this has been perhaps the best game we have seen. Mike Maurice, who is the strongest player along with Graeme Townshend on this team, and some tremendous stick handling. Kevin Grant has been just terrific. The defense just doing a superb job as we take yet another look at it. The puck going back, and Grant does a super job of controlling one hand and a deft backhand pass to Mike Maurice, who's a tremendous golfer, and says, yes, I'll chip this thing up into the top shelf. But the hand's so important. Look at the hands there by Grant. He's got a guy draped on him and still has a presence of mind in Maurice with that black stick, just bangs it up on top.
Now it's Tippett the other way for Houston to Grant. Poke checked by Straub. Aeros need to hustle back. We're still 4-on-4 for another 20 seconds. Straub with a shot. It goes into the corner. 5-3. Houston leads it. Grant. He has been outstanding tonight. Over to Conroy across the line. Here's the shot. Oh, and a great stick save made by O'Neill. Puck was sent along the boards, and Straub is there. And finally, O'Neill will pry it along and freeze it, and we will get a whistle and a face-off in the Phoenix zone with 2.5 gone in this third period, and a 5-3 Houston lead.
And the Yale graduate Mike O'Neill just talking to himself, and rightfully so. We talked about the top shelf problems that seem to have been quelled earlier in the playoffs, but tonight, the Aeros answering big, and the defense with Kevin Grant tonight has just been outstanding.
Well, now, if you're Houston, we talked about coming into this period and getting another one. I don't think you want to sit back with a 2-goal lead with this Phoenix hockey club.
And Adam, you've said for many years, why a 2-goal lead is the toughest thing to hold on to.
Because it gives you so much confidence. It's what I call a euphoric lead. You get a false sense of security. You think you're up 2-0 and everything's going great, but then all of a sudden 1 goal by Phoenix here, and it's only a 1-goal game, and they've got the momentum, which is, you know, we talk about a 2-goal lead, Barry. I don't think any different in a best-of-5 series, a 2-game lead in a best-of-5 series. Aeros win tonight. If they win, all of a sudden they've got the momentum.
Well, Adam, I guarantee to win on radio during the course of the week.
Now it is Maurice, base of the right circle, fished out of there by Waters, cleared out at neutral. Aeros got to hustle back. Oh, here's a 2-on-1 coming the other way. Here's Edgerton falling, but a good defensive play by Robinson. Oh, what a great play, and here come the Aeros. It is Harkins across the line. Harkins getting set, right in. He'll drop it back. It's batted away. Loose puck in the slot and finally cleared to neutral ice. Roadrunners trying to advance it. Chevalier stripped by Maurice. Trying to fire it in there, but Steve Wilson now moves it out at center for Bylsma. Can't find the handle, and Chitaroni does his golf impersonation, and down the ice it goes. O'Neill sees the Aeros in motion, making a line change, wants to move it up quickly, but Ken McRae will shoot it in. The Aeros are back. Puck in the corner. Rob Brown now. Brown blocked by Valamon. And it's over to the far side. Cleared for Slivchenko. Can he get it out of the zone? Yes, he will. Now the Roadrunners trying to bring it in. Ooh, that's a good play by Carl Valamont to knock it down with his glove, but that's going to hurt, and they'll call it a hand pass, and we'll take time out. 16:23 to go in the third. 5-3 Houston. This is the IHL playoffs. Well, if this score remains the same, the Aeros will have game 4 tomorrow right here in the Summit. Same bat time, same bat team. The Aeros and the Phoenix Roadrunners, game 4, but lots of hockey remaining tonight. Let's worry about game 3 right now. The Aeros with a 2-goal lead, but still lots of time remaining. 16:10 to play. Pass at center for Tippett. Rolled it into the Phoenix zone. It will bounce down low. O'Neill corrals and leaves for Sean O'Donnell. O'Donnell, he'll skate it up and out of his zone. Locked by McRae. Jams one out. Neutral ice. It goes into the Aero zone. If Crowley can, no, they're going to wave off the ice. And I thought Crowley would touch it. They say no, and it's waved off. And McRae gets a nice pass to Tippett. Tippett charging up ice with Conroy across the line. Tippett weaving, waiting now, rips the shot. O'Neill stopped it, rebound. Oh, it went just wide. The crowd thought it went in, but it did not. It did not cross the line. It just trickled wide. Now the puck along the near side. Out at center for Blomsten. He will hit the blue line. He will turn left side. He'll rip the shot and gamble a glove save, and he'll hold on. 15:29 to go in the third, and a 5-3 Aero lead.
That last rush all made it a 6-3 lead, Adam, and McRae just did a great job putting a cross-ice pass on the stick of Dave Tippett, who just weaves. And watch the way he just shifts and pivots his body. Excellent shot, and oh, just so close. And Troy Gamble comes up with a very big save. Who? Arto Blomsten with a big shot, and the snare with a glove hand. And what the Aeros have to continue to do is play at them like they're down 5-3, not up 5-3.
That's a good point, Barry. 15:29 to play in the third. 5-3 Houston. Harkins against Vachon in the circle to the left of Troy Gamble. And now Harkins tossed out of the circle, so it'll be Maurice against Vachon. Boy, I'll tell you, these face-offs, oh, so crucial now.
And notice how Vachon tries to choke up on that stick.
This time the Aeros win the draw cleanly over to Grant. Tipped it over to Harkins. Got it to the line, out at center, I thought. Boy, I thought it was out at center, but they say play on. Linesman was heading up ice. They miscommunicated, but the Aeros are able to get it. That is a near disaster play, and now we're going to get a penalty as Chapman took a pretty good run at Harkins. I believe it was Chapman. I know that Harkins is down, and we'll see who gets it. It'll be charging, and I think it's Brian Chapman.
May have gotten an elbow in the old schnozola. Jerry Mines, one of the best in the business, veteran Oiler trainer in his...
Well, now I hope Harkins is just going to show blood. That's good. He's just going over to talk to the referee as Chapman goes to the box. And Chapman doesn't want to go in there. It'll be 2 minutes for Brian Chapman and a big 2 minutes for the Aeros to go on the power play. Barry, I know the Aeros only have one power play goal tonight, but this is the best I think I've seen their power play in about a month.
Well, Adam, they came out right away, and they've worked so hard on the power play every single day in practice. It started on Monday with, without question, the tensest practice that the Aeros have had all year. The tension was so thick there, Adam, it was just incredible. But they continued to maintain their cool, and that's what this team did. They worked hard all during the course of practice. They worked and worked and worked, and it is paying off tonight.
Face-off in the Phoenix zone. 15:11 to play in the third period. And it is Freer, Conroy, Arneal with Tippett and Crowley. Sticks down, dropping the puck. Aeros win the draw. Tippett jammed it over to Crowley, right point. Crowley waiting now, rolled it down. Freer turns behind the net. He lost the puck. Wilson clears back to the line. Tippett held it in. Dave Tippett trying to launch it down. It was jammed away by Wilson. He's got a short-handed rush. Here's Wilson right in. They bend on a shot as Crowley comes back and makes a nice defensive play. Crowley, he's played well tonight in the defensive end. To Freer, dropped it back. Arneal, that is offsides, and the face-off is back to center.
Excellent point, excuse me, Adam, about Ted Crowley. He worked with you last week in the broadcast booth, had the bad back. He came up big with a couple of saves as he sprawled himself out on the ice on a 2-1, and then coming up here, Tippett getting nailed, and that starts the breakaway. But Crowley, who's got excellent speed, the kid from Boston College, just comes over, puts the body on him, rides him off the puck, and the Aeros move it up ice.
Boy, I'll tell you what's a key play, and I don't know if we could see that again. In the corner of the screen, Dave Tippett, after he was knocked down by Vachon, he trips him up. Could have been a penalty, probably should have been. And if he doesn't trip up Vachon, watch here, for those of you watching on UPN 20, Tippett's knocked down. If he doesn't knock Vachon down, it's a 2-on-1 break. Watch, right there, boom. Great play by the veteran Dave Tippett, and he, I think, prevents an outstanding scoring opportunity. Still a minute 25 remaining in the Aero power play. Laniel in behind the net. He will turn, and he will re-rack it center. Up the right side, Freer. And it's tipped away O'Donnell. Can he clear the zone? No. Here is Arneal now. He's pounded into the corner by Sean O'Donnell. Now in there is Freer. Blomsten throws his body in there, all 6'5" or so. Now Blomsten knocked it free, and we're going to get another penalty. I think Blomsten might get one, unless Conroy is going to get one right back. I think Conroy may get one as he knocks Blomsten right off. And Blomsten very slow to get up.
Now, this is no dive job, a good one for the TV cameras. Arto Blomsten, who's 6'3" and 215 pounds, got nailed there as Conroy just pulled him.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, Barry, I thought it was going to be Conroy as well. Now it's going to go just to O'Donnell. That's a big, big play. I just thought, you know, Conroy might be getting one. I was watching Bernie DeGrace point at Conroy, and I thought they were telling him to come off.
Well, Conroy just wheels around and drags Arto Blomsten down to the ice. But Blomsten getting up right now, and looks like he'll make it off under his own power.
Well, now, turnabout, fair play. I think it's been 4 5-on-3s that Phoenix has had in the series to 1 for Houston. And this is a big 5-on-3 here because Houston's got a minute 1 with which to work. I think Blomsten is going to be okay. I don't know if he had the wind or if he looks a little sore somewhere. Well, I said it earlier, Barry. This guy has been, I think, the biggest difference for this Roadrunner hockey team. This is a team, the Roadrunners, that have lived and died with their blue liners, Chris Snell and Rob Cowie, who will not be on their playoff roster, thus will not ever see IHL playoff action this year. They were so dominant. Cowie with the big shot, Snell with just an ability to see the ice and pass the puck on the power play. But Arto Blomsten has filled in because he can do what both Snell and Cowie have done together.
You know the sad part about it? Pete Dineen was oh so close to making a deal with Winnipeg, but they got a better offer from Los Angeles. Dineen had had his eyes on Arto Blomsten when he was playing in Springfield in the AHL, but they could not pull the trigger and then dealt him to the Los Angeles Kings.
2-man advantage for Houston. Freer, Arneal, Conroy, Tippett, Crowley. Bylsma the only forward with Straub and veteran Tim Waters. And now we'll see, who will we see? Waters take the draw, or does he say Straub take it? He wants Straub to take it against Conroy. Sticks down, drop of the puck. Conroy wins the draw to Dave Tippett. Top of the slot for Crowley. Back to Tippett. Looks, waits, now jammed it down. Conroy centered. Oh, it went off the stick of Freer. Now Crowley again on the 2-man advantage. Down low Freer, back Crowley. Wide, fakes the shot. Now here's Freer, waiting, back Crowley to Tippett. A loose puck. And it's back down for Conroy. Now Tippett, 40 on the 2-man advantage. Tippett waiting, still the puck, top of the slot. Hard pass down to Conroy. Regains it back. Now Tippett lets the shot go. It hits skates. Loose in front. Arneal's got it. Half a minute on the 2-man advantage. A minute and a half remaining in the O'Donnell minor. Here is Tippett. Waiting. Give it over to Crowley. Right point. Jammed it down. Centered. Conroy. Oh, had a marvelous chance, but he couldn't get his stick on it. And the puck is cleared. That should just about do it for the 2-man advantage. The Aeros with at least one more chance. Here comes Crowley, weaving it center ice. Crowley across the line. Crowley with a right side for Arneal. Back to the line for Crowley. Here's Tippett. It went off the skate and out at center. Penalty now over to Chapman. It's 5-on-4 for Houston. And the puck is turned over. Here's Chapman, rolled it left side. Hedgerton turning back at a left point, doing a fine job of killing off the penalty. Crowley staying with him. And now the Aeros are back. Houston, I think, also wants to be careful not to take a penalty here because I'm sure Bernie DeGrace wants to even it up here, looking for anything. Maurice, left side, getting set, turn the puck over, and Steve Wilson will shoot it down the ice. 35 seconds remaining in the O'Donnell minor, 12:43 to play in the third. Houston with a 5-3 lead. Valamon to Maurice. He is knocked off the puck by Vachon. Aeros hold it in. Malamont drilled by Brown, who left his skates for that check. That's usually a penalty, but I don't think you'll see it at this point in the game. Maurice now behind the net for Slipchenko, and the puck is cleared by Phoenix all the way down the ice. That'll do it. Penalty is just about over. 5 seconds left in the O'Donnell minor. 12:15 to go in the third. 5-3 Houston. Hopefully that won't haunt the Aeros. They really needed a goal there. Here is Townsend across the Phoenix line. He'll barrel in on goal. Stuff shot. Poke check by O'Neill. Harkins batting out one. That hits skates. Into the corner it comes. Now it is Straub. He's knocked off the puck by Townsend. In there is Jakes. He's got it. Jakes to the line for Robinson. He just missed McRae. McRae turning. Here's Townsend right in front. Shoots. Rooney just hammered that wide to the short side. Now McRae and Harkins going at it. And I'll tell you what, Harkins needs to keep his cool here because he's going to draw a penalty to McRae, and they're both, I think, going to go. I'll tell you what we saw the Aeros go through in the first 2 games and the lack of discipline, we're seeing on behalf of the Phoenix Roadrunners right now. Well, they've got some sorting out to do, and we'll do the same. 11:42 to go in the third. It's 5-3 Houston. This is the road to the Turner Cup.
Here's what they have precipitated the penalties with Harkins as the shot goes wide. We take a look at the upper right portion of the screen, and you can see them starting with it with McRae and Harkins, getting into it right by that glove. Hark goes down, he pulls. Yeah, there you go. So McRae will serve, and Harkins, come on, keep that stick down low. Don't retaliate, just drop that thing. The best thing to do in a case like that, Todd, skate away, go into reverse.
Now the Aeros have to kill off another power play to Phoenix. It's only a 2-goal lead here for the Roadrunners, and let's see what they do here as the puck takes a very weird hop, almost caught Gamble by surprise. Tomlinson turning, and what do we get a whistle for? The net's become dislodged. 1:48 remaining in the Harkins minor. 11.5 to go in the third. 5-3 Houston. Basically 9:42 is what we'd have left in the game if the Aeros can kill this thing off. Fans, you can help the victims of the Oklahoma City explosion and other disasters by making a contribution to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. You can make a flat donation or pledge any dollar amount to donate on however many saves Troy Gamble makes tonight. Fax your pledge to the Houston Aeros office at 621-2314. The Aeros thank you for your generosity. And he had 23 shots, I think it was, after 2 periods. That's 20 saves after 2. He's made a couple here in the third. I don't have the totals yet. Here is Rob Brown on the Phoenix power play. Fakes the shot, jammed it down low. Here's a chance now for Phoenix. Devin Edgerton, base of the right circle, 1.5 minutes on the power play. Back to the line for Chapman. Chapman waiting, top of the slot. Now cuts loose, no. He's going to wait some more. Now let it fly. That hit his own man. Tomlinson and the Aeros turning. They'll get it out. Jake couldn't clear. He had a great chance and finally got out. And then he pounds down Brian Straub with a big hit. Arneal for Freer, short in. Ready to go, but he can't get the shot away. Here's Freer for Arneal. Oh, he tipped it wide of the net. Beautiful setup there. Wow, the Aeros just about clanked one in there. Here come the Roadrunners at center. It is Devin Edgerton with 1 minute to go on the power play. Brown scooped it down low, but speaking of scooping, Troy Gamble will return the favor. He will hold on with 10:41 to go in the third, and the Aeros lead it 5-3. Folks, well, Barry and I talked about the fact coming into the playoffs that there was nothing like it. Intense, outstanding action. I know a lot of people were beginning to think, how intense could it possibly be when you've been outworked and outscored in Phoenix and are trailing 2-0, but you are seeing playoff action here tonight in Houston.
And we saw that man started, Al Conroy, with the first goal to start the game. Conroy on the power play from Freer and Crowley made it 1-0. Phoenix jumping back, taking a 3-1 lead, but 4 unanswered Houston Aero goals.
Now the puck is back in the Phoenix zone. Brian Straub to Brian Chapman. He'll roll it out to Brown. 45 on the power play. Nice pass brought in. Here's a great move, a shot, and a great save by Gamble. Rebound. He will hold on. Wow. Troy Gamble, looking like the goaltender we saw in the first half of his IHL season, making 2 unbelievable stops. Wow.
Let's take a look and see how Troy Gamble, who got the start, and some of the guys thought that maybe Dobson would get the start. but Troy Gamble has gotten stronger since this game has gone on. Terrific move there. And Gamble coming up there, and watch the presence there. 1, 2, 3 white sweaters there, 4 white sweaters to protect their goaltender.
And a face-off to the left of Troy Gamble. Why do I keep hearing the Pearl Jam song, I'm Still Alive, in my ears? I know it's not my audio guy. I'm thinking Aeros hockey. Is a shot by right on, and a pull to the pillows by Gamble, and he'll hold on. And it's funny how this has just been an exact opposite as far as now how feisty Phoenix looks.
You know, it's interesting. Today at the pregame skate, the morning skate, it was a 25-minute skate. Normally the guys are on the ice for about an hour, but after 25 minutes, Roscoe sent them off. Some of the extras stayed out there and worked with Don Laraway and with Terry and Dave Tippett. But it was music to the guys' ears. They came out. They didn't want to leave it out there in the morning. There was plenty of hockey to be played because they felt they had 2 games to be played here at the home ice.
Off the face-off, Wilson's got it right point. Jammed it down for Brown. It goes in the corner. Jake's turn. Shoveled it to the line. Not out. Wilson held it in for Phoenix to Rob Brown. 10 minutes to go in the third, and the puck came to center. Power play down to 16 seconds at center ice. Here comes Phoenix. Puck shot into the Aero zone. Gamble wants to play it, and he'll flip it behind the net for Dave Tippett. He can't get it out of there as he takes a hit. Now puck centered. Wow, big opportunity. And then he was clobbered in front, and a delayed penalty coming up to the Aeros. Now Brown in the corner kicking it. Brown kicked it right to Robinson, and the Aeros will be shorthanded for another 2 minutes.
Well,
they've got some sorting out to do here. The Aeros are going to be shorthanded for another 2 minutes. When we return, this is the road to the Turner Cup.
5-3 the Aeros lead, but they're down a man as Mike Maurice goes off for nailing Rob Brown. Maurice just nails him there. Brown does a good acting job there, but not what the Aeros have to do. With Arneal out and with Mark Freer, have to continue the great job done killing the penalty. Was it 52% Phoenix scored on the power plays in the first 2 games?
Well, then they scored in the first 2 opportunities of the first period, and you were going, oh, no, not again. Phoenix led this hockey game, folks, 3-1, but the Aeros have erupted for 4 unanswered goals and lead 5-3. Face off to the left of Gamble. Roadrunners win the draw. They're on the power play again. Chapman with Straub, and he held it in barely. But now Robinson turns in the corner, and he will have an easy chance here to clear it. Robinson shoots it right back down the ice. Aeros go into forecheck a little bit here as it is Brian Chapman. He'll wind a pass to the right side for Ken McRae. Hits the line with Rob Brown. Dropped it back. Brown cutting in. Ripped the shot in. Handball with a glove save. And he will snatch that from the jaws of the twine. And he will hold on. 9:12 to go in the third. 5-3 Houston. A minute 36 remaining in the Mike Maurice penalty.
Adam, if we're going to go back to a subtle turning point, with 5 minutes gone by, he nailed Vachon in the second period with a great pad save and then came up with a rebound. From that time on, Troy Gamble has made plays like this look routine. He was very, very shaky the first period of play. He just seemed like a step behind everything. But from that 5-minute mark on, he has been a different goaltender.
Here is Rob Brown. Over to the left side, Chapman. Chapman cutting down, looks in front, centered! Played by Robinson, and down the ice it goes. 9 minutes to go in the third. Aeros with a 5-3 lead, a minute 20 to go in this power play. It is Brian Straub across the Aero blue line. Dropped it for Rob Brown. Cutting in, steers. Here's Straub. The shot. Gamble turns that aside. And the puck slices up and out of play.
Adam, once again, the defensemen, Steve Jakes and Rob Robinson, have been so fundamentally sound. Jakes with a big go-ahead goal, or the goal that tied it at 3 apiece. But he and Robo have just been outstanding. The team playing tonight without captain Curtis Hunt. He's out along with Malgunas, who was suspended for a couple of games, and Mike Yeo. But Jakes, who has played as, without question, as the best of the Aero defensemen, and Rob Robinson have really helped lead the charge. And if this thing stands up, we'll try to get a word in if we can with a man who I think has got to get our star of the game, and that's Kevin Durant.
Face off to the right of Troy Gamble, and the Roadrunners win the draw. Here's the shot. Gamble stopped it. Rebound came out in front. The Aeros clear it down. Now, the Runners go back with a minute to go on their power play. Here's Phoenix in their own end. Sean O'Donnell Steers one up Edgerton. He's harassed by Freer, who almost took that away. Wilson turns. His pass right onto Shevalier. Shevalier across the line, lost the puck, and O'Neill shoots it right back down the ice. 40 seconds to go. And in the power play, 8:12 to go in the third, 5-3 Houston. Here come the Roadrunners. O'Donnell down the left side, ripped it into the Aeros zone, picked up by Edgerton, knocked away Laniel. Laniel turning, he'll clear it off the boards to the line, not out. Here's another chance for Phoenix. I'll tell you what, the Phoenix defensemen have been outstanding holding the puck in all night long on the power play, and really even at even strength when they have put the pressure on Houston. The Phoenix defensemen have been like brick walls holding pucks in. Power play down to 10 seconds. And here's a takeaway by Conroy, but steered away by Mike O'Neill. Chitaroni fighting for a loose puck. That shot comes away. The penalty, though, is now over. Maurice back out on the ice. Across the line, Vachon right in on goal. Pulls up, now waits, centered right onto the stick of Chitaroni, and the Aeros break it out. Scott McRae out at center with Maurice and Chitaroni. A pass tipped away, and the Roadrunners take over. Vachon to Bylsma, right side. Give it to Vachon across the line. Poke check Balamont, and the Aeros clear it down the ice. Icing indicated, but waved off, and Chapman goes back. 7:10 to go in the third. Aeros lead it 5-3. Puck brought out to center ice. Here come the Roadrunners now. Vachon rolled it into the Aero end. Back goes Robinson. Robinson, a pass to the right side, and it's Scott McRae. He will hit the Phoenix line. He's belted by Chapman. Maurice goes in after it. Puck loose. Waters fights for it with Maurice. In there is Scott Arniel to wreak a little havoc, but it squirts free, and now Rob Brown charges out to center ice for Phoenix. Brown across the arrow line, rolls it over. Here is McRae centered. The shot, Gamble stopped it. Rebound in front, Brown, a shot. Gamble stopped it, rebound. Oh, it went wide of the net. I think Robinson barely got in there. And then Gamble, another save. The rebound. Oh, it was cleared at center. Now, here's Slipchenko in alone. Right in on goal, and he lost the puck. Great defensive play by Straub. Wow, Slipchenko with an outrageous burst of speed. And now we're getting penalties coming up. I think Straub is going to go. 6:23 to go, and listen to this crowd. Standing here at the Summit as the Aeros lead 5-3, and I think they're about to go on the power play.
And Straub wanted to take a run at Kevin Grant, and Grant is kind of circling, but wisely just moved back. He has taken over right now as the intimidating force on this hockey team.
6:23 to go in the third.
What a game, and we'll see Vadim Slipchenko. We featured in the open with that great burst of speed, but a good job there by Straub coming in, riding him off the puck.
Well, there's a pretty good slash there, too. A couple of them. And Brian Straub is in the box.
And if this holds up, Game 4 tomorrow night, same place, right here at the Summit, 7 o'clock.
Face off to the right of Mike O'Neill. Freer, Arniel, Conroy with Laniel, and Crowley. You know, someone would look at the stats on the power play and say, oh man, the power play just still is not that good for the Aeros. Folks, I will disagree with you 100%. Tonight, I can't think of a bad power play shift. You know, they had a 5-on-3. They weren't able to score, but they're moving it around so well.
You hit the key, the puck movement. That's what creates for you on a power play. It's not the big shot from the point. It is the puck movement. And Laniel and Ted Crowley at the point with Conroy out there with Freer taking the draw.
Off the face-off now, Phoenix with it. Steve Wilson in behind his net. Got by the Arniel check. Puck cleared, and Vachon, a good job of getting it out of the zone, and down the ice it will go. Now, the puck is in the Aero zone. Scott Arniel, he needs to hustle back to the bench for a stick. He will come back to get it as the Aeros bring it up ice. Ted Crowley charges in there, ripped it into the Phoenix zone. O'Neill couldn't get there in time. Bylsma knocked it down. In there it is Sean O'Donnell. He'll scoop it to the line and back out at center ice. 5:53 to go. Aeros lead at 5-3. Laniel. A pass to Al Conroy. He's got to go in the hockey game. Over to Arniel. He tried to center one for Laniel. It came out in front. Aeros fighting for it, but Wilson came up with it for Phoenix. Arniel, a great job in the corner, playing physical. Get it back to the line. Laniel. Laniel for Conroy. Bats it down for Arniel. He's had a wonderful hockey game, although he hasn't been offensively as far as getting goals and assists. He has been outstanding, working hard in creating some opportunities, and I'll tell you, that's what you need. You know, he's one of those veterans that knows, hey, okay, it's not going in for me, I'm not getting any assists, but it doesn't matter. The other guys are chipping in, I'm doing my part, and he is really, he's had one of the best, he's had a good series, even though he doesn't have a lot of points.
Adam, welcome, folks, to Puck City. Last year it was Clutch City against Phoenix with the team down 2-zip, and now down 2-zip. Brad Ewing, well, what does he do? Puck City, welcome to Houston, Texas, and Puck City, if this holds up, there'll be another game tomorrow night. And you know, Adam, ever the optimist that I am, today the guys came and they said, we better have the bags packed. I told Roscoe after practice, Terry, that bag stays here because I'm planning on skating tomorrow. Jeff Fisher said, I don't want to see your bald, ugly face at the draft tomorrow morning. I want you with Ruskowski and the Aeros. And Adam, with 5:26, if this holds up, that's where we'll be tomorrow morning, right here at the Summit, preparing for game number 4.
1:04 left in the Straub Minor. Tippett, Harkins, Maurice with Laniel and Crowley. And face off to the right of Mike O'Neill. Sticks down. Harkins wins the draw. Here's Mike Maurice back to the slot for Crowley. Trying to find Tippett down low. Base of the right circle. In behind the net. Harkins trying to come up with it. Cannot. And Devin Edgerton scoops it up and he will slice it out at center. Back is Crowley. To the right side, Dave Tippett. He'll bring it across with Harkins. Moving down the right side. Harkins trying to gobble it up. And here is Laniel. Looped it down for Harkins. Harkins chipped it over to Dave Tippett. Tippett along the boards now, setting up, rolled it down for Maurice. Maurice back to the line for Laniel to Tippett. Aeros still cycling the puck along the boards very well here with half a minute on their power play. Tippett to Crowley, jammed it down. Here is Maurice, it came out in front, loose puck, and O'Neill will dive on it and he will hold on. Good play by O'Neill to cover up, and one of the Roadrunners a little shaken up. We haven't seen Arto Blomsten since he went down. I see him on the bench still, but I don't know what the extent of his injury is, but if he was not able to play tomorrow, boy, would that make a big difference.
And Adam, that was key on a couple of power plays with Harkins and Maurice both in the box. You didn't have that cannon coming from the point.
I'll tell you, in that first period, he was a factor. He got that big shot in there and also assisted on that Tomlinson goal, their first goal that tied the game at 1 back in the first.
4:42 remain, 19 seconds remaining in the Roadrunner penalty. The Aeros find themselves 4 minutes and 42 seconds away from having a game 4 right here at the Summit at Puck City.
Now the Aeros win the draw. Balamont left side, scooped it down along the boards. O'Neill knocked it free. It'll go back to the line. Brown, did he clear it? Yes, he did. Here's Ken McRae, but Tippett back to pop it away. Good play by Dave Tippett. Now McRae again. At center for Rob Brown, trying to stumble in on goal there. Tippett stride for stride, but now McRae turns, ripped the shot. Gamble stopped that. Here is Balamont for Todd Harkins. He'll shoot it into the Phoenix zone. Teams are at 5 aside, 4:12 to play. Now, O'Donnell. He'll wind it up and out at center. O'Donnell through the neutral zone. Swept it into the Aero zone, rejected by Kevin Grant. Had an outstanding game, and I might even take a bold leap by saying his best game is an Aero. Arguably, but it's so hard to remember back when he first got here. He's had some pretty good games, but he's done everything. I mean, offensively and defensively. Jakes up the right side, knocked away by O'Donnell, and out is Steve Wilson. Forecheck by Freer, get it out at center, turned around by Robinson. Aeros trying to move it ahead. Arneal banked it into the Phoenix zone. 3.5 to go. And a 5-3 Houston lead. Steve Wilson at center. Wilson ran it into the Aero end. Gamble, oh, misplayed the puck. Oh, man, you don't want to give up a hand grenade like that, but the Aeros get back. Now, puck centered. It goes wide of the net. Here's the puck rolled down. Edgerton overskated. Brown trying to come up with it. And it's rolled down low. In there is Vitaly Yakhmanev, but it came out at center. On for a rare shift, but he came on for a rare shift. In fact, his first shift in game 2, and he scored. And maybe Robbie Laird trying to pull out some magic here with under 3 to play. Rob Brown trying to move it free. Puck frozen along the boards. Play whistle down. And with 2:55 left in the third, we take timeout. 5-3 Phoenix. These are the IHL playoffs. Well, the Aeros are 2:55 away from forcing game 4, which will be tomorrow night at the Summit. The Aeros and the Phoenix Roadrunners. Folks, tickets will go on sale immediately following the game tonight if the score remains the same. And folks, you thought this one was good? Get down here. and cheer on the Aeros. Plenty of seats, plenty of room for you. The Roadrunners are offsides with 2:47 left, and I'll tell you, man, this has been an outstanding hockey game, and the Aeros, it's been an unbelievable game for them. It's been a classic game. It's one of those where you just think the Aeros are down and they're out, but they come back with 4 unanswered goals and lead 5-3.
Adam, and one of the subtle things, the forechecking on this team, the forwards just doing an outstanding job, not allowing the breakaways and not allowing Phoenix to get some tempo and some speed. McRae with excellent passing. He came up with a key assist on the Dave Tippett goal. This has been a team victory.
Conroy trying to win the draw. Phoenix has it. Chapman rolled it into the Aeros zone, and Laniel will go back. Laniel trying to clear it. Could not. Now it finally made its way to center ice. Back is Chapman. Left side, Randy Pierce shot it into the Aeros zone. Here's Shevalier in, but that is on the sides again. And the faceoff brought back to center ice. 2:28 to go here in the third, and the Aeros with a 5-3 lead. And if the score remains the same, it would be a 2-1 series. And the thing now is, if you're the Houston Aeros, you don't want to go, oh wow, well gee, that was great. You still need to play tomorrow's game like you did this one and force a game 5. Tell you, I want to go to Phoenix. I definitely want to go to Phoenix. And I think everybody out there, I like Dave Tippett's comment in the first period intermission. He says, this is the only profession I know where you want to keep working before going on vacation. You want to work as long as you can. You don't want a very long vacation. Now the puck is back in the Aeros zone. Tomlinson trying to fish it out of there. Picked up by Harkins. Now Straub turning left side, lets a shot go. Oh, it got through and behind and wide at Gamble. And the net becomes dislodged. Oh, Troy Gamble coming up there with a nice little play there. It's kind of funny the way the breaks have gone for the Aeros. If this were a game similar to 1 or 2 or the start of this game, that one probably would have gone in. But it's amazing how things kind of turn around for you and how you do create your own breaks.
Big shot from the point. That thing just flies wide. If there's a blue jersey there, we got ourselves a 5-4 game. But Adam, you make your break, you make your momentum. We have said all year long, there is no quit in this team. They're down 3-1, and what happens? Tippett gets a goal, and then they continue going from there. This team has got great character. They showed it tonight, and this is what it was, a character victory.
Robbie Laird, the head coach of the Roadrunners, calling timeout. He will gather his troops, and at this point, I'm looking with 2:06 left. Here is my thoughts, Barry. You've got 2:06 left. You're down by 2. You got a face-off in your opponent's end, and you've owned the face-off circle. Do you take a chance and pull Mike O'Neill? My thoughts are yes. We'll have to wait and see.
Adam, I agree with you there, man. No question. You're just, what do you have to lose? So if you lose 6-3, is it any different? You got to come back here tomorrow night. You're not flying back home with a W and getting ready for the second series. So to pull the goaltender, come out with another attacker, but I don't see Arto Blomsten out. So if he is injured, they just want to rest him for tomorrow night.
Yeah, O'Neill's going to come to the bench here. So this is a good play by Rob Laird. They've owned the face-off circle tonight, but I couldn't think of a better time for the Aeros to maybe steal a face-off here. It will be for Phoenix. Ken McRae, Jeff Chevalier, Dave Tomlinson, Rob Brown, Steve Wilson, and Brian Chapman. For the Aeros, Freer, Arneal, Townsend with Jakes and Robinson. Face-off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble. 2:06 to go. Aeros win the draw. Robinson pounds it behind the net. Brown fished it out. Centered! Scores! They score, and it's now a 5-4 hockey game.
A great bit of strategy as we talked, Adam. A terrific gamble, and the gamble pays off. And Shevalier, who they kept quiet all night long, looks like he gets the goal. Was it Shevalier or Wilson? See who they awarded to.
Well, I think it's Chevalier. We'll see here as we get another look at it. Wilson the shot, but Chevalier on the doorstep.
Yeah, he's on the doorstep.
Well, that means Mike O'Neill will come back into the game. It's now 5-4 Houston. And all of a sudden, things are tense. Under 2 minutes to go. And we'll see what Robbie Laird has designed here. Aeros win the draw again. Robinson. He'll skate it and shoot it into the Phoenix zone. O'Neill comes out. Aeros, they can't sit back. They're only up by a goal. Here's a takeaway by Freer. Puck is cleared, and out at center, Jakes trying to move it ahead. Cannot. Here come the Roadrunners, but we're going to get a penalty. We're going to get a slashing penalty.
No.
And I think it's going to be on Phoenix. Jakes comes up sore here, and I think Phoenix is going to get nailed with a penalty here. And when you take another look at it, you watch Randy Pierce. He nails Jakes with a big-time two-hander. It's a gutsy call by the referee, Bernie DeGrace, and I don't know if we've got another look, but watch. We do have one. Watch this, Barry.
Strabo's a defenseman playing tonight on the wing. Just lets the lumber fly.
Look, it's more, I think, on Randy Pierce. Didn't get as good a look as I thought. But he gave him a big-time two-hander, and you can see he's a little upset at himself. His team has just gotten within one at 5-3. And here we go. Here's Jakes.
There's
Whack.
the two-hander. Yep. Just coming down like a samurai sword, and he gets Steve Jakes right in the hand. And Jakes has had hand problems all year long.
So now the Aeros are on the power play. But that doesn't mean anything, because when O'Neill comes to the benches, I'm sure he will, that'll just even things up. But it will mean an open net for the Aeros to shoot at if they pull him off. 1:33 to go. Puck at center ice. Steve Wilson ripped it into the Aeros zone. It'll scoot to Gamble. He'll slow for Laniel. Jammed along the boards. Aeros trying to clear, and they do. Wilson heads up, fired it into the penalty box, and play halted with 1:19 to go. 5-4 Houston.
Focus, focus, and focus. That's exactly what the Aeros have to do for the next 79 seconds. This thing is far from over. And some of the folks who've left and started buying their tickets for tomorrow night kind of hanging right up on top here at the Summit.
Conroy, Tippett, and McRae with Valamont and Laniel. Top of the puck. And the Roadrunners have got it. Back with their own blue line strong. He'll circle in his own end, and a pass tipped away. Conroy in after it. Brown trying to clear. McRae goes in after it. McRae turning. He'll set up on the power play. McRae, rink wide. Valamont the drive. And a save made by O'Neill. And he'll hold on with 1:03 left in the third. And a 5-4 Aero lead. 1:22 remaining in the Pierce Minors. So unless the Aeros score, the Roadrunners will finish short-handed. So there's only 1:03 left in regulation. And I should mention, because it's the playoffs, there is no shootout. If Phoenix scores, there will be a 15-minute intermission while they resurface the ice. And then you come out for sudden death overtime. 20 minutes, just like another period. And it just goes on and on and on until somebody scores.
And what's important here is for Al Conroy to do something that the Aeros have not done a good job of this evening, and that's win the draw. Keep the face off and keep peppering O'Neill.
Face off to the left of O'Neill with 1:03 to go. Conroy, Tippett, McRae with Valamont and Laniel. Interesting going with McRae out there. He's playing pretty well tonight. Here down the stretch. Terry Ruskowski showing a lot of confidence in Scott McRae. Aeros win the draw. Laniel back to the line. Valamont. Give it to McRae. He's given a sharp check by Wilson. Back again to the line. It's Valamont. Cycles it down low, but it's picked up by the Roadrunners and spanked to the line. Laniel couldn't hold it in. Tippett now turning at center. We're down to 47 seconds. O'Neill still in the pipes. Valamont shovels it to center, but he shoveled it right to O'Donnell. Now O'Donnell trying to bring in any fan on it. Tippett will turn. Dave Tippett muscled by O'Donnell, and then the puck goes back into the Phoenix zone. O'Neill is there with half a minute to go in the hockey game. McRae knocks the puck down. Here's the chance. O'Neill! Oh, and another marvelous save by Mike O'Neill as Arneal goes on O'Neill, and O is the man that comes up with a nice save in Scott Arneal. I'll tell you what, he has been baffled all series by Mike O'Neill.
You know what that means, Adam? It means tomorrow night that Arneal can come out and really explode. That man right there, Conroy, just does an excellent job of not retaliating. One of our keys at the beginning, be disciplined. He gets face washed, he gets rode off the play from behind as O'Neill, after he tries to take this shot, comes and gives him a shove, and then they try to get him from the backside, but he will not retaliate. And that is exactly what this team has done tonight. And we said one of the keys, dumb and dumber last week, smart and smarter this weekend. They played smart tonight, even smarter tomorrow night.
Fans a little premature yelling, nah, goodbye. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be doing that. This game is not over yet. 22 seconds remain. Puck is in the Phoenix zone. Here's Brian Straub, whacked up by Townsend. Arneal has it. Arneal along the boards, jammed it down for Freer. Freer behind the net. It's tipped away, and now Rob Brown will charge up and out of the zone, but a great play by Arneal. Here's a chance. Freer to Townsend. It's tipped away, and the hockey game is going to be over. Down the ice, the Aeros are back in the series with a 5-4. Come from behind win. And the series is now 2-1 heading into tomorrow's game. Wow, what a victory.
And that man there deserves great credit. Troy Gamble, very shaky at the beginning. Yeah, Roscoe, you can smile a little bit, take a deep breath, but Gamble, terrific tonight. Shaky at the beginning, but he settled down. And again, if there was a turning point in this game, Adam, it came before Tippett's goal that made it 3-2. I thought it was when Vachon was robbed, the big pad save, and then the rebound save, and Troy Gamble was a different goaltender from that point on.
5-4 Houston the final, and we'll have more from the Summit right after this. Hockey on Paramount 20 has been sponsored by Southwest Airlines, by Columbia Hospital, by McDonald's, by Heidel Auto Parts, and by new Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. Well, a 5-4 come from behind win for the Houston Aeros, and they're now back in the series. It's 2-1 in favor of the Phoenix Roadrunners. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. I can't think of anything better to get you into it. And I'll tell you, Barry, before we get a comment, I want to take a quick look at tonight. Southwest Airlines just plain smart play of the game. It was Kevin Grant.
What a job Kevin does. He keeps the puck from going out. He comes in and makes an outstanding move around Nedemansky. He charges in, turns Nedemansky, and watch him sweep around, finish the play, get the pass from Chitter, and Banger right in. He starts and finishes the key play of the game.
That's your Southwest Airlines just plain smart play of the game. Barry, you know, when you look at the Oshman's game plan, and we talked about the power play, I was beginning to think that maybe that the Aeros were in a bit of trouble after Phoenix scored on their first two power play. That was the difference tonight after the Aeros killed off the rest of the Phoenix power plays.
What a job this team did, and they worked so hard during this arduous week of practice, working on the specialty, both scoring and killing. Hard work pays off.
Let's take a look at the Columbia HCA scoring summary brought to you by Columbia Hospital, and in that third period, the Aeros get the only goal. Mike Maurice at 150. What a beautiful goal that was. Maurice from Kevin Grant, and the Aeros lead 5-4. But Phoenix will get a goal also in that third period, and they would make it 5-4 as Jeff Chevalier gets it with just about 2 minutes remaining in the game. Steve Wilson and Kevin Brown getting the assists. The Aeros hold on after Mike O'Neill was pulled, and Troy Gamble came up with some marvelous saves in that third period.
Boy, oh boy, did he just change things around. Again, I point about that 5-minute mark there on Vachon. From that time on, we saw the Troy Gamble that you have said many times this year came up big.
Were you worried about him after that last goal was scored by Phoenix?
Was I? Yes, I was horrified. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie, Adam.
Coming up now would be Game 4 between these two teams tomorrow. Tickets are available right now. They go on sale right away. Get your tickets, folks. It is going to be an outstanding contest. I'll tell you, I don't think I can take another contest like this one, but I'm just glad there is another game. Let's take a look at the final stats, and you'll see they're brought to you by James Coney Island. 41-40 the shots. Saves tonight, Troy Gamble 37 saves, 35 for Phoenix, 37 saves. So mark that down for those of you that made contributions to the Oklahoma City Disaster Relief Fund. Troy Gamble put in $5 himself, and that's going to be a nice tidy sum with 37 saves. Aeros go 1 of 8 on the power play. Don't kid yourself, folks. Aeros look very strong on the power play tonight, which is a bonus for them heading into tomorrow. Phoenix with 2 power play goals, but after that, they went 0 for 6, and we talked about how big the Aeros were.
And also, too, what's going on down in the medical room of Phoenix.
will number 55, Arto Blomsten, be at full strength tomorrow night. He is without question the dominant player in the series thus far for Phoenix.
And how about tonight's play by the defensemen? Rob Robinson, Steve Jakes, Kevin Grant, Ted Crowley, and Carl Valamon, and Mark Laniel. I think all of them should be kind of grouped together. I thought they were the heroes tonight.
Much maligned they have been by this broadcaster during the course of the year, but credit has to go where credit is due to the defense, and Pete Dineen works behind the dasher with these guys, which has been a huge help to Terry Ruskowski. We've said many times before, there's one four-letter word that Ruskowski's club does not have: quit. We saw it tonight.
Unfortunately, we must do that right now. Barry, thank you for your help tonight.
Pleasure. See you tomorrow night, my friend.
Tomorrow night is the Aeros and the Phoenix Roadrunners. We look forward to seeing you there. Executive producer of Houston Aeros Hockey is Paul Bykowski. Tonight's game has been produced by Aaron Silverman. Remote production facilities provided by John Crow. Transmission services from... Coming up next on UPN 20, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Houston Aeros playoff action continues tomorrow night with Game 4 of the opening round of the IHL playoffs against the same Phoenix Roadrunners. Again, that's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here at the Summit. And all the staff at UPN 20, this is Adam Gordon saying thanks for watching Houston Aeros Hockey.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Houston Aeros and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Houston Aeros.